What are the best starter Pokemon in competitive Pokemon? Welcome to the video. We are going to be ranking all of the starters here on a National Dex format for singles. We're going to be including draft and competitive Pokemon as a whole. This time I'm actually joined with a different co-host. How would you introduce yourself?
Well, I am an Intoid. I play Pokemon Draft and a lot of competitive for many years.
For many years, for
Many
longer
years.
than we've all been alive, actually. For longer than
Yeah,
Pokemon has even been a series.
exactly. And for that reason, my opinion is fact. So that's why I'm here
That's
today.
right. So if you
Um,
disagree with Rentoid,
yeah.
then you suck ass. And
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, no. So we're
That's true.
gonna.
So yeah. So we're telling you what to think today. so
So yeah. So whatever we say
no,
is absolute fact, and you have to listen. Otherwise, you're trash. Uh,
there you go. Exactly.
but yeah, if you want to see more stuff
No.
like this, subscribe, like the video, comment down below. Your debates, we'd love to see them. We're gonna get right into it. Starting off, we have the man, the myth, the legend himself, Venusaur. What are you thinking about my man Venusaur?
You know what? Venusaur is really strong, actually.
Venusaur is good.
Yeah, but both variants of it are actually really relevant. So chlorophyll normal Venusaur is pretty fucking strong,
Mm.
especially if you factor in Terra as well. Venusaur just does so much damage, and in Sun it can get a nasty pot through boost through growth,
Mm-hmm.
and its coverage is like really good these days. It gets like Earth Power and Weather Ball if it's in the Sun as well.
He
So it's
does
just
have
really
good coverage,
difficult to
doesn't he?
switch into.
Um,
Yeah, like it's super fast, super like it can be really hard to kill as well because it's decently bulky.
he could also be run two different ways. Like,
Mm-hmm.
he could be run with Megastone as well, and then he's just like
Mm-hmm.
really bulky, or he's a chlorophyll
Yeah.
sweeper. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I'm having a hard time because this is always like one of the troubles about, you know, doing the early parts of these lists is that it's kind of hard to like place him.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you think
Yeah,
you'd
yeah.
go
I
like
know.
right off rip?
Off rip, he's really good.
Really
That's
good.
exactly what I think when I see Venusaur. There is nothing mid about him. He is very solid.
I
He's
can
not
agree with that.
broken, but he's very solid. He's got his place in like the meta and whatever. More so in draft, I would say, rather than Nat decks, which are the two formats we're primarily going to talk about, like competitive wise.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, in draft, absolute menace, especially if he's like a Terra Captain. In normal sort of Nat decks, he can be pretty good on Sun teams. So yeah, just great Pokemon, really. So,
Great Mon, yeah.
and then Mega Venusaur as well. He's just super bulky and has like two weaknesses: flying and
Yeah,
psychic.
thick fat, giving him
Yeah.
half damage on all ice and fire type moves. So, you know,
Yeah, solid guy.
you're only weak to psychic and flying at that point. Really crazy.
Mhm. Yeah.
My man
The
Zard,
golden child. The golden
the golden
child.
child,
of
trash.
Pokemon.
No,
Trash.
base
Yeah.
Zard. I mean, without Mega Stones, Zard kind of sucks. No, am I wrong to say that?
Zard is pretty bad on his own. I'd even argue that he's like all right or trash. Like he's not great on his own. He's got a pretty middling speed tier, a middling type.
What is his
and a
speed
middling-
anyway?
It's like 109 from memory,
It's okay.
which is okay, but it's not like great.
I don't
And
think
then-
it's even that high. I feel like it's like
Is it? No, it might be a special attack.
I think it's
Hang on.
100 exactly. Actually,
You think? I think it might be 100 actually. I think I'm wrong. Because I think it's the same as like pretty sure the Mega Charizards both have base 100.
why should it not even be at 100?
Sorry, yeah, I got the numbers mixed around. Sorry, 109 is special attack. 100 is speed.
Called
Yeah,
it.
I mean, yeah, well, you pretty much know the numbers there. So yeah, Megazard. I mean, normal Charizard has the advantage over his Mega forms in only one way, and that is that he can wear boots to stop his awful fucking rock.
That is true. Getting boots was
Um,
such a massive boon for him.
Yeah, but that is like not enough of an upside to offset
Yeah.
running it over any of the megas because the two megas are primarily what we're probably going to talk about. So,
Yeah, the
Soul
megas
Power-
are the megas are what matter here really. Both Zard X and Zard Y are both really good.
Mhm.
I mean, it could be a Sunsetter with Y. I mean, Y. It's honestly the crazy thing about both of his Mega Stones is that it's still kind of debatable which one's better.
I personally think Y is better.
I think he's a bit better too. Y has instant use Solar Beam, obviously
Mhm.
boosted fire type moves to nuke.
Yeah.
Just
It's-
good
and he's
coverage.
he's just a good like centerpiece for a team as well. Like we literally just put a Pokemon on the board that he could be a teammate with. You could put him with Venusaur, for example, or any other like really strong Sun Pokemon. There's all the
Honestly,
Paradox Pokemon that have just come in recently.
and hell, if we're
that you
talking
could
about
pair him with.
Natdex as a whole, I mean, let's be real here. Sun is like debatably better than Rain nowadays because of paradoxes. Um,
Yeah, but it really, really has a lot of like. He's a little bit spoiled for choice on teammates nowadays. Actually, he's really good, and even in draft, like it's still really like he's got a lot of options too. Like you can draft a lot of photosynthesis Pokemon, just
Mhm.
stack it and go crazy. So.
it's really, really good. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, I'd say above Venusaur, really good. I still don't think anything's breaking into the broken.
Yeah, I
realm.
mean, and obviously you could run either Y or X. If we're talking about like base competitive, it's also really good that he's unpredictable in that way because the opponent won't know whether he's X or Y. Well, sometimes it could be pretty obvious if you have a Sun team, but
Yeah, but solid stats as well. Like it's got really good base stats, decent speed tier 100. Like the only thing really holding him back is that Stealth Rock's weakness. You really got to pair him
Yeah.
with like a really good partner. Fortunately, one of the best Rapid Spinners is also a Photosynthesis Pokemon, Great Tusk, so you can pair it with that, and then you've got like a decent bit of passive control. But other than that, he's still going to struggle a decent bit. So
I think that's a fair enough placement. Now, how about you tell us why that's why he's the GOAT?
Blastoise. So Blastoise on his own is not that good. Just off rip, his stats are
he's
kind of
kinda
middling. His offenses are kind of ass. Yeah, there's not.
I
Really
mean,
much
it's
to him.
alright.
Yeah, like in draft he's a decent low tier bulky water and rapid spinner, but not like great. So the main thing we're going to talk about is the Mega. So the Mega is really broken if it also they allow Shell Smash, which they would in Nat decks. That's why he's in Ubers. Or if they are like if it's in draft, then they usually disallow Shell Smash. And if that's the case, if he's not allowed Shell Smash, he's probably going like really good along with the rest of his Kanto counterparts. So. But we're assuming he's got all the juice on this one. We're assuming that he's the GOAT because I mean
he has Shell Smash, he has Mega Stone. Like,
dude, yeah,
how strong is Mega Blastoise anyway?
dude, like it's actually ridiculous. Like with Shell Smash as well, he has base 135 special attack with like really good bulk and like enough speed to make really good use of the speed from Shell Smash.
Mm-hmm.
And he just blows it out the water. Like
Dude,
nothing.
This is insane.
His coverage is great. His coverage is really strong as well.
120 defense, 115 Spadef. You're getting that free Shell Smash for sure. And then 78 speed is plenty to sweep a team with.
It's actually slow enough as well, 78, that you get your defense dropped after you move after your opponent, so you get your defense dropped and then you attack and stuff.
You get hit first, and then you drop your defenses, so then you just run up. Yeah. He's absolutely insane.
It's just ridiculous. Without Shell Smash, he'd just be kind of really good, but because he gets that, it's just stupid.
Yeah, without Shell Smash, honestly, I'd actually argue he's mid if he didn't have Shell Smash.
I still think Mega
Blastoise is not really that good without Shell Smash.
But yeah, he's probably quite mid actually. Good point.
Honestly, he might even be. I mean, it's alright, but.
I don't think so. They're way worse Pokemon with Mega Blastoise on this list. 100%.
I think maybe I could see the... I don't know. I mean, Shell Smash Mega Blastoise is very valid to be that's why he's the GOAT. But I also do feel like there's some other Pokemon on this list that are also like kind of crazy.
Put him in Broken and move him up later if we feel like nothing comes to his level. I think that's pretty fair, right?
What, like for right now?
Just for right now, yeah. We can always shift this around later. We don't have to definitively.
That's fine. That's fine. Let's move on then. How about the best Pokemon of all time?
I love Meganium. He's terrible in his base gen, terrible in competitive. But I do love Meganium's design. Meganium's just bad. I can't really say much else about Meganium.
Meganium's just bad. He's trash.
It's pretty trash. No good ability to pull it back. It kind of doesn't do anything special with any of its stats. It's a defensive grass type, which has a boatload of weaknesses. The only defensive grass types are either one's paired with another type that gives them like a decent stat, like a decent resistance chart, like steel or like water or whatever. What or like poison, like
I can't
just
even
an
think
info
of like
my
what
head,
niche. I
like,
guess you could run like dual screens or something. Like
even then, like Superior technically does that job better. It's faster and gets dual
no, for
screens.
real. It might even be
So
bulkier. Am I crazy to say that? Superior's kind of
I
bulky.
don't know. I don't know off the top of my head. I guess we'll have to find out later. Yeah, Meganium. I mean, I'm looking at its stats right now. It is bulkier than Superior, but not by much, and it's nowhere near as fast, and it doesn't get as good of an ability. So
Yeah, this thing needs
unfortunate.
Triage, bro. Where's Triage Meganium at?
Yeah, Triage would be a really neat buff for Meganium. I'd really like that, especially like even like in like well, so it's just like even like Priority Synthesis would go a long way and stuff like that as well. So.
No,
Yeah,
definitely.
Meganium's not good. Sorry, Meganium.
Sorry,
lovers, but
Meganium
it's not
lovers. You suck. Typhlosion. Base Typhlosion. I mean, you know what? I will say, Typhlosion. I don't actually necessarily think any of the Johto stars are that cracked by any means, but I feel like Typhlosion has a niche just because it has Eruption, right?
good. Mm-hmm.
Like Eruption is really freaking good. Choice Scarf or Choice Specs are both very, very strong to spam Eruption. I don't think it's good enough to be really good though, unfortunately.
It's not. I'm floating around mid, or it's alright. I mean, Eruption. The problem with the Eruption sets is kind of a similar problem to Charizard, and that's hazards. You've got to run Spectre or Scarf on it to make it even viable. So you've really got to make sure
Yeah,
you get
and you know,
perfect
fun fact
control.
about Typhlosion. Did you know that Typhlosion has the exact same base stats across the board as Charizard?
Wow, what a guy!
He has the exact same, like, Cyndaquil up to Charizard. Like, Cyndaquil has the same stats as Charmander. Quilava has the same stats as Charmeleon, and
That's stupid. What the fuck?
they're the exact same stats.
That is really stupid.
You see that now?
Yeah, it's really stupid. Yeah, this version it did get a decent it's a decent side grade, the Hisuian form, but it's also got more problems. I guess we're kind of talking about Hisuian form because there's not really much else to say about normal.
Yeah, I
type
think
form.
they're in the same spot, really. It's
They're,
probably
they're
better.
really side. It's really a side grade. I mean, it does more damage, but it's less fast, and it has like the ghost stab as well. So that's
Is
okay,
it
but
slower? I thought it was faster, actually.
It is. It's 5 points slower, but 10 points more powerful.
Interesting. I think
Oh,
just
and
the
3
fact,
points.
even
more
besides the
safety.
speed, I think it's actually a little bit better just because of ghost typing.
Mhm.
I think ghost typing is really good. You know, you could block spinners and stuff.
Yeah, it's handy. I mean, it's risky to block spinners with Typhlo, but
That is true.
it gives you entry point. It gives you entry points with it, right? So
Yeah,
something.
it's easier to switch into it at the very least, but I don't think it's like I think these two are going to be glued together the whole list though. They're very similar.
Another, I guess, decent thing to note. It doesn't bump its spot up anywhere, but it gets Frisk as a hidden ability, which is very good in draft. Telling you what the opponent's item is. That's kind of like the only place Frisk is really good. So
Yeah,
other than
you're
that, yeah,
probably
you don't really
right.
see much Typhlo in other
Besides
places,
that, I
so.
think Flash Fire is actually better in general.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, overall Flash Fire is a lot better, but still risky to swap in a Typhlosion.
Either way, I think they're very similar. We could just move on. I think mid makes sense for them. So my man Gator. I was always what did you choose? Which starter did you choose as a kid for the Kanto ones?
Out of the Kanto ones, my first Pokemon I ever chose was Charizard. But nowadays, I'm definitely Team Venusaur.
Bro, I was always Team Venusaur right out the womb. Bulbasaur, bro.
Yeah.
Shout out to my man Bulbasaur.
I remember because the reason just on a little bit of a tangent, the reason I chose Charmander was because I thought it was Chimchar. I saw it in the anime.
Oh yeah.
So I picked it.
Oh, interesting. You thought it was Chimchar. Interesting.
Yeah, I thought it was Chimchar. So I was like, oh, I recognize that guy. And
I was Chimchar. For Johto, I was a Typhlosion guy. What did you choose for Johto?
I also, I've always been Typhlosion. I still am. I chose Typhlosion in Legends Arceus as well.
I did too. I've always been a big fan of the fire type starters for the most part.
In fact, fun fact, Hisuian Typhlosion is my favorite fire type Pokemon.
Well, there you go.
Really cool. Yeah, I like his design a lot.
He's cool, yeah. Now my man Gator. I mean, he has Sheer Force, he has Life Orb, he has Dragon Dance. I actually do think he's better than the Typhlos.
I think so too. D-Dance Sheer Force Liquidation is still really strong.
Honestly, it might be bottom really good.
Nah.
You don't think so?
The Gator's not really good. It's just kind of whatever. It's not bad by any means. It's just mid.
You're probably right.
Relegator doesn't excite me. Look, it is 105 attack. Like, it's kind of whatever.
I know.
Like, it's set up like, yeah, it gets Dragon Dance, which is really nice, and its typing's not bad at all. Well, Pure Water is pretty good, but like, I don't know. It's a bit of a weird one. Its coverage is okay, but beyond that, it's kind of just like.
You're probably right. You're probably right. He's just mid. He just has a good hidden ability, but like his stat spread isn't very good. It's 78 speed, 105 attack is not that much.
No, like you're gonna need to boost a lot to get any value. Like he's definitely on the same level as Typhlosion, but
you're probably not even outspeeding most things nowadays with only one Dragon Dance. You probably need two.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if. I mean, I think Dragapult. I think it should. I usually use Dragapult as a benchmark, and I'm pretty sure he might outspeed Dragapult if he's Jelly. I'm not sure.
So.
I don't know the calcs. So.
I actually don't think he would, but either way.
Yeah, I mean, Gator's not necessarily. It's not like a bad Pokemon. It's not. It's just not.
He's just kinda, he's lower tier for a reason. Yeah, there's better water types. There's a lot of really good water types. My man Sceptile, your favorite boy.
I love Sceptile, but it's alright in terms of competitive, maybe even trash. Sceptile as an Unburden Sweeper is very underwhelming. There are better Unburden Sweepers, namely Hawlucha, Hitmonlee, and Sneasler.
I will give it this, though. It's not trash. I think Meganium's another level of bad. You could do something with Sceptile.
That's true. Like, Sceptile's stats at least achieve something.
And it has a good hidden ability. Meganium doesn't have that.
That's true. Unburden's not a bad ability. It's definitely outclassed, though. And then you've got Mega Sceptile, which is definitely the best way to run Sceptile, in my opinion. But it just gets held back so much by its coverage.
Yeah, it needs more.
But its speed in Mega Sceptile specifically is really fast. Base 145, it outspeeds Dragapult, and it has base 145 special attack, so it actually hits harder than
it actually is really strong. But I think it's just a coverage thing, right? You're basically just running Dragon Pulse and like freaking Energy Ball.
Well, literally all it gets coverage wise. Talking about special attacks, I know it gets physical attacks, but that's not how you meant. Like, it shouldn't be how you're meant to run it. You should be running it special because that's how its stats are set. But like, you get what you get now. You get Vacuum Wave. You get like a fast Shed Tail, which is not even really built for Shed Tail.
Yeah, it did get Shed Tail. I forgot about that.
Yeah, Shed Tail's banned in most formats anyway, so that buff doesn't really mean anything. Even in formats where it's allowed, I doubt it's going to be using it.
Let's say it is allowed for this. Let's just say that it is allowed, flat out. Because I mean, you know, if we're saying something's not allowed, then technically we wouldn't be able to rank Blastoise with a bunch of the other ones, right?
Well, fair enough, but it really doesn't do much for it.
No, you're right. I even think with it.
Either way.
Do you think with Shed Tail it's enough to be mid, like bottom mid?
Shed Tail's really strong, but no. I guess you could do bottom mid. There are some other Pokemon that go in all right, but I don't think it's difficult because Mega Sceptile is like okay, it's so unbelievably mid, but it's also got a lot of problems.
It's mid then.
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah, with Shed Tail, I guess it's all right.
I think Shed Tail kind of sold me on it a little bit. I mean, like Rentoid said, it's banned most of the time, but it's banned for a reason. Like, it's really good. I wouldn't say that we shouldn't consider them to have it. I don't think that that's quite fair.
Yeah, I mean, it's the fastest Pokemon that gets Shed Tail. That's an niche, I suppose.
Yeah.
So, Mega Sceptile is, in that dex. And in draft, for the amount of points you usually spend on it, it's got a pretty good speed tier and it hits decently hard. So you really can't fault it. I've never used it in draft myself.
Base Sceptile's like 120 speed, right?
Base Sceptile's 120, yeah. I mean, obviously, as I said, Mega's 145 in both its special attack and its speed, so it hits pretty hard.
He's a fast boy.
So yeah, he's good for his price. Like, he's got good speed for his price. There's not really much else to say in draft. So there you go. You could be a mixed attacker, which is good.
My man Blaziken, you did choose Sceptile as a kid, right?
I did, yes, and I always have to this day. Sceptile's great.
Well, I was a Blaziken fanboy ever since birth. Out the womb, there's Mega Blaziken in the background, and Blaziken, that's why he's the GOAT!
Blaziken's he's good. Blaziken fell off a lot.
He did, but I still think he's
definitely.
broken, at least.
He's broken because of Mega Blaziken, in my opinion, though. Not
I don't
because
even
he's
think that's
normal,
necessarily
but
true. I mean, he did fall off. You're not wrong.
he fell off super hard. He's
But I still
yeah.
think, especially since we're considering draft as a part of it, he's really, really good in draft.
He's fantastic in draft.
Even competitive, like you can make Blaziken work in any tier, really. Like you can make him work. Like it's not like, and you're not gonna struggle that much. Like he doesn't even have that much competition, really. Like what is Blaziken's competition for speed boost mons? I guess Spathra, right?
I mean, yeah, like a Spathra, but like, and Sharpedo, Mega Sharpedo, but like they're not. To be honest, I wouldn't even consider it that. I just think about his competition in terms of fast, like, snowbally fire types, mainly. Like,
right, but who even beats him on that? Like,
well, it's very few and far between. It definitely, I mean, he does have a lot of really good fire types to compete with these days, like Galajunk Fire and shit. Like,
yeah, but honestly, I would go as far to say I think Blaziken is. I think Blaziken has more going for it than Gouging Fire.
Sure, but there's a lot of. I can see why a lot of the fire types in the top tier are in OU right now compared to him, which is UU borderline, are used over him. Like, you've got like obviously Gouging Fire, as I've just said. You've also got Volcarona, which is still
Volcarona makes a lot of sense, but Volcarona is kind of carried by Terra.
So it is outclassed a little bit, but I still think Blaziken, because of Mega Blaziken, is still broken. If it didn't have that, I'd probably just say it's top of really good.
I actually,
it's fantastic in draft, but
I mean, yeah, it's mixed in draft as well. You can run a physical special.
I absolutely love Blaziken. I've made so many draft teams with Blaziken on it. Like I love Blaziken, to use it. But...
You could just do a lot. I mean, hell, you could bait people with like. Instead of clicking protect, you can click like, hell, you can click Swords Dance or Bulk Up or whatever. Like,
he now gets like Aura Sphere, which is nice for him.
Right, like if you want to run a special set, now it gets Aura Sphere. Now it gets close combat. You don't have to rely on high jump kick.
Knockoff is nice. You know,
like
he actually gets U-turn as well, so you can kind of bait something in and get momentum.
I mean, I don't know. I know that as a whole, yeah, he might not be as strong as Mega Blastoise Shell Smash, but like, do you see this versatility?
Oh yeah, he's incredibly well. His special sets are definitely usable, but worse. Like they're more relevant in draft. But yeah, because he doesn't get nasty plot, so you can't really set up with it, like compared to his physical. But
right,
it's good.
Yeah, it's still pretty versatile overall. I would like to put him above. But it might be like the legacy part of me speaking. Like for context, I've been playing competitive Pokemon since X and Y. Even kind of low-key started in Black and White. And Blaziken has always been the only Ubers starter for ages until. Did it only get moved down in Gen 8 or was it this gen? It might have been this gen. So I don't know. There's a part of me that wants to say that he deserves to be above. But I don't know. Is Legacy fair? Man, I did say at the beginning that maybe we shouldn't count Legacy, but I like Legacy in a way.
Sorry about that. Yeah, Natdex Legacy and Natdex Draft are very similar to the point where I can't remember half the time they have.
Well, no, I just meant like the legacy of Blaziken, like overall.
Oh, you meant that, right? Sorry.
Like Blaziken has been the Uber's starter forever.
Unfortunately, power creep got to him, dude. That's just the way it is these days. I get what you're saying.
It feels okay. That's all I'm saying though is that it feels wrong to have Blastoise above Blaziken.
Mega Blastoise just got power crept, but Blaziken didn't. It's just the.
And it's only because of Shell Smash.
And just because they get it Shell Smash, yeah. It's just unfortunate. Like he's still really strong, but he's nowhere near as good as he used to be. He fell from Ubers all the way down to UU. That is a massive fall off. Gee, like he's by most people's accounts worse than the Charizards, and we're still putting him above us. So, you know, and Mega Blaziken's still Ubers, which is why I think because of that. Well, it's not just because it's Ubers. I know why Mega Blaziken's strong because it hits harder and it's faster. But like, yeah.
Right. All right. Fair enough. Whatever. I just don't like Blastoise being above.
It's only because of Mega Blastoise. Mega Blastoise with Shell Smash is broken. It's just that simple.
Ugh, I hate it. All right,
Mhm.
my man
It's
Swampert.
ridiculously broken. You- Swampert, Swampert is very, very good.
The Hoenn
in
Stars are
both
so
its
cool,
Mega. Hmm.
bro. The Hoenn Stars are so cool, bro. I like the Hoenn Stars.
True. They're all really good. Yeah, they're all really good designs. But I think Swampert is just really good. There's nothing really else to say about it. It's a great like defensive wall. When
He has
it's
flip
its
turn
normal
now.
form. Yeah, they gave it flip turn and knock off this gen, which is really nice for it. And then Mega Swampert is great. It's a good like Swift Swim Pokemon. It doesn't get any setup, but it doesn't really need it. It has a really high, like, he has really high stats and really good bulk, so it doesn't necessarily need it.
I think it's
So-
fair to put it above Venusaur, but below Zard, because the Zard megas are very like oppressive. Like I think Swampert mainly files like a pretty decent like slow flip turner, and then it has Mega Swampert if you want to run it in a rain team.
Yeah.
Swift Swim Mega Swamp is, I actually think Swift Swim Mega Swamp is the strongest Swift Swim. Like it has the highest attack stat. That's also a Swift
Oh,
Swim.
you mean in terms of like a pure attack?
Yes. Like
Um,
I mean, to be,
actually,
to be fair, you can't hold an item, so obviously you could run like a Specs or a Band on like Kingdra or whatever, and that might be better. But
is that correct? Yeah, Mega Swamp is actually 20 points of attack higher than its second place on attack, and that's Beartic, which no one uses.
okay, well
So yeah,
but like you don't have stab on your water type move, so it's not really.
But I'm not saying Beartic's the same. I'm just pointing out
Yeah.
that it is a lot stronger than the second highest attack Pokemon.
Right.
Yeah, Mega Swamp's just great. I mean, it's not like the most powerful thing ever, but it's bulky. It can make use of Swift Swim with its like
I mean,
middling
hell,
speed.
like personally, like I recently just used Mega Swamp in a rain team. Granted, it was with Kyogre, so it was kind of harder to use it like with the Swift Swim. But I most of the time ended up using it as a slow pivoter anyway, because Mega Swampert has like really good bulk and like he has 150 attack. It's the same as Groudon.
Yes.
It's like, bro.
I'm looking at it right now. 100 HP, 110 in both defenses. Pretty strong.
Pretty
Yeah.
bulky, great typing. I mean, and again, you're hitting Earthquakes that are as strong as Groudon. Like,
Yeah, it's
kind of
very
absurd.
strong. Yeah, just really strong. Not as good as the Charizards, but it's got its place. Yeah.
yeah, honestly, if it was just Charizard X, I think I'd actually put it above. But I think Zard Y, like, having Sun is just so... Like, I would rather have a Sun Setter than something that can make use of weather. Does that make sense?
Yes, no, 100%. It's more versatile. You can pair it with more things if it's.
Yeah. Like, this
Set
is
Sun.
like, you could build your team around Zard Y. You can't really do the same with Swamp.
Cool. Torterra, you know what?
My man got
If
Shell
not for
Smash.
Gen 9, yeah, if not for Shell Smash, I'd have put this in trash, but I actually think it's alright.
I'd
alright.
honestly, do you think it'd be worse than Meganium? No, probably not. It'd probably be above Meganium.
No,
It's
no
a
way.
stab Earthquake.
I think it's in a tier above. I think it's alright.
I'm talking
I
without
think
Shell
so.
Smash.
Oh, without Shell Smash, probably better because at least it can set up like Stealth Rock and stuff, I guess, and Earthquake.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
No,
better,
with
I guess.
Shell Smash, I'd argue it's mid. I don't even think it's. I mean, it's I. I actually think it's better than Sceptile. Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
Like,
I mean, it's quite a good user of Terra as well as with Shell Smash. A lot of dice sets are decent on it too because it gets Rock Smash and Bullet Seed.
you
which are
mean Rock
pretty
Blast, not Rock Smash?
Oh, sorry, Rock Blast. Yes, it rhymes.
Rock Smash Torterra.
Rock Smash. Yeah.
Get that
If you're not running
defense
that,
drop.
Get the fuck out of my stream if you're not running Rock Smash. Rock Smash Torterra.
If you're not running Rock Smash Torterra, get out of my
Yeah,
game, bro.
That's the wave. But no, yeah, it's good. It's mid. It's not like really good, but it's.
I actually think it might be
Better
better than the
Sceptile.
Typhlos as well.
Mm.
Shell
Think
Smash
about
is just
Torterra-
so good.
The thing about Shell Smash is great. The only thing about it is you kind of. I suppose it's the same for the rest of these. Actually, I was gonna say you kind of know it's coming, but like, okay, you know that about all these Pokemon that are in mid anyway. It has
kinda
one set.
true.
So I think it's better than the Typhlos probably, but the Typhlos hit really hard, so it's kind of hard to tell which is better. But Torterra's got a pretty shitty typing though. Grass ground is
He
not good.
does. But he's not weak to rocks. He actually resists rocks.
Which helps him out a little bit. So yeah, he's fine there. The mid
Yeah.
Pokemon are all a little bit interchangeable. Apart from Sceptile, he's going to stay at the bottom, guaranteed.
Yeah, probably. Alright, I think this is fine. Right? Yeah. My man Infernape.
Infernape. I think Infernape is really good after specifically this gen.
What did he get?
He got knockoff as
Right.
like the big one. And I think they finally gave him Drain Punch as well, if I'm not mistaken, with Iron Fist.
Yo, Assault Vest,
there's like-
Drain Punch, Infernape.
Yeah. So, but it's a good alternative to close combat if you're not wanting to lower your stats.
Right.
You could definitely.
But you
do
probably
some stuff
still
with
run
that.
close combat, to be fair.
Oh yeah, they gave him. No, it wasn't Drain Punch. Sorry, I don't think it was Raging Fury, which is like Outrage. And
Oh,
then
right, but who
Aura
runs
Sphere.
that?
Well, nobody, but it's just an option. And then, or more importantly, Aura Sphere, which is actually a good option.
Now
for
that's
nasty
useful.
buffers. Yeah, I think
Because-
did they give him? No, they didn't give him Vacuum Wave either. Okay, yeah, but yeah, I mean, he's just in draft. He's great because he's really versatile.
He's super
that's his
versatile.
big thing.
He's similar
Yeah,
to...
he's nowhere near as good as Blaziken, but he's still really good.
He's similar to Blaziken, though, in the way that, like,
Yeah.
you know, he's mixed, firefighting. They get a lot of the same moves.
Oh, they did give him Vacuum Wave. Sorry, they just put it in useless moves for some reason.
Yeah, Vacuum Wave's good. I wonder if that's enough to bring him to really good.
I think he's like the bottom of really good. Infernape's great. I mean,
Yeah,
they
I mean,
gave him a
he's
lot
very
of tools
fast. What's his
to-
speed stat? Like 109?
It's like 109, 110, something like that.
108.
108. Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know.
This guy he has setup and priority for both types of for both physical and special.
104 in both attack and special attack, 108 speed. Like, it's just nice. I think he also gets fake out. So, you know, if you want to...
Yeah, Fake Out, Encore, Close Combat, Calm Mind, Bulk Upper, kind of whatever.
Want to
But
do something cheeky, yeah.
Aura Sphere, yeah, Aura Sphere. It's just in draft he has that many options. It kind of bumps him up to really good. I think in normal play he's not that great.
Hmm.
And I think I'd probably put him as mid if it was normal comp, but I think he's that good in draft, it kind of bumps him up.
Yeah, I kind of agree.
Yeah, I think that's
And again, like, the thing about, like, normal comp is that, like, I think unpredictability is even more so a factor in normal comp. Because, like, in draft, you could always, like, kind of, like, you can assume that they're doing something crazy. But, like, in comp, like, you don't know what mons the opponent's going to have. So you could throw someone off with a certain set in Infernape. It's still,
100%.
like, it's still not bad, you know?
Yeah. Not bad at all. Definitely at the very bottom of really good though, and I think we're going to find a lot more Pokemon are going to go above him as we kind of go along.
Yeah, I think so, too.
Speaking of really good Pokemon, Empoleon, in my opinion, is probably it's like probably what I'd say above Venusaur. It's probably quite fair. I really think Empoleon's solid these days. I would argue Empoleon's very underrated these days.
I think he's underrated as well, and I kind of
like-
agree at the exact spot you just said, because like
Mhm.
I don't think he's as oppressive as Swampert.
Swampert's got like the Mega option as well, which is bumping it up some points
Yeah.
as well. And, like,
I mean, without the
Swamp-
Mega,
yeah.
let me say, without the Mega, Empoleon's definitely better. I'll say that.
Yeah, like overall, yeah. I mean, Empoleon's got a lot of stuff going for it. Like, it kind of fell off. A lot of people was like really happy with it, like new toy syndrome for it when it first got buffed in Scarlet and Violet. But
Mhm.
I
They
mean,
did a lot of
getting
cool buffs in
Roost,
Scarlet and Violet.
yeah, right, Roost and Flip Turn, they're just incredible buffs for it. Slow Flip Turn on a Pokemon that has it's the only one of its type, which is Water Steel, and it's an incredible defensive type. They gave it competitive, which is a little bit less relevant, but can be nice if you're into like matchups with Landorus or Incineroar, which is more of like a draft thing. So yeah, I mean, it's got a lot going for it in terms of like a defensive, just good check. It gets Stealth Rocks.
It does get a lot.
It does a lot of like. It just fits a really good bulky water spot.
I
And I
wonder-
don't think there's anything. to fault it for.
It's the Mega, man. I can't bring it above Mega Swamp.
It's not above Mega Swamp in my opinion.
Mega Swamp is
No.
Mega Swamp, bro.
Yeah, Mega Swamp.
This is fine. You know, he has Knock, he has Roost, he has Defog, he has
Oh, he does have Knock. Oh, that's neat. I didn't know that. I didn't even know that. That's a really good option.
there you go.
Yeah.
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 Lots of
Like
support
even stuff
options.
like Haze. Yeah, Haze.
yeah,
Like
Haze.
stuff like that.
He-
yeah.
he's
you
very
all-
versatile. You can run him a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
And he's got a good special attack stat. I mean, hell, you can run Scald pretty well.
Yeah, and that deck's obviously Scald, really strong.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah,
My man,
I think yeah.
my man Superior.
Gets vacuum wave. Sorry.
Yo, Superior gets vacuum wave?
Not Superior, Empoleon. Sorry, I just saw that on the list.
I mean, it's not broken. Okay, contrary Superior, every single time that he uses any move ever, it buffs. Well, okay, contrary as an ability.
You know what? Like,
if you ever lower your stats, then it raises it instead. So whenever you use Leaf Storm, you're getting +2 special attack instead of lowering it. Off of that alone, Superior has like pretty ass coverage in general, but it doesn't even matter because all you need to do is spam Leaf Storm.
Yeah, Superior's been good since it got contrary, even despite its big flaw of not having any fucking coverage.
It also
kind of makes up for it.
It also arguably has like kind of bad stats, like it has good speed and that's it.
Pretty decent bulk.
It's just okay bulk, like 95.
Like nothing too crazy, HP. But like Serp gets a lot of cool stuff. Like it's one of the fastest glare users, which glare's broken.
That's true.
Obviously, it gets dual screens, which is nice. It can do like sub-seed sets, like as well as just throwing out these huge leaf storms. It recently got so I don't think it would have even survived the power creep and stayed in OU if not for the fact that Terra is just so ridiculously good on it. It gives it coverage. Stellar Terra came out, which is just perfect for it.
Specifically Stella, Terra Blast with the Stellar type. What does it do again? It raises both of its attack stats, or?
Yeah, because it usually lowers it, so it raises attack and special attack by 1 stage, which is obviously really nice.
And it's also a stellar. It's also a stellar type move, so you use it on anything.
It's also super effective against other terrors as well.
True. So it's very strong. It's one of the only good stellar type mons. I think
there's a few. Yeah.
Man,
it's a tough one to place. I actually would.
I do actually think, man. I don't like. The problem is, I actually think. Hear me out. How about that?
You think Serp? I don't know if Serp's broken, dude.
I don't either, but I don't think he is either. But I just think he's so far above all of these.
I don't even think so. I don't think he's that much higher than Mega Charizard. I don't think he's that much higher at all. I think Mega Charizards obviously have their weaknesses, but so does Serperior, right? So I mean, Serp's just great. What's one neat little thing about Serp that I really like? It's a little bit more niche, but he's got the ability to set up without using any status moves, so you can run an Assault Vest set and still set up a Leaf Storm. So that's pretty cool too. So yeah. Serp's good.
Man, I mean, honestly, Assault Vest, Leaf Storm, Giga Drain, shoot.
Yeah, Serp's great. Dragon Pulse, Terra Blast, you fill it out with if you're running like a Terra, which you probably are because it's Superior. Yeah, I mean, Serp's really scary. It snowballs really fast. It's similar to Blaziken in that sense, but Blaziken's just kind of got like higher stats off rip, so it makes it a little bit scary.
Yeah, I do think Blaziken's better overall. I think, like, it's really just the fact that really just the fact that you can click Protect and you'll basically guarantee outspeed with Blaziken as well.
Yeah, Serp is not the fastest thing these days, and really, Terra is kind of what helped it survive power creep. I think it would be in a similar boat to Blaziken, probably UBL, if not for the fact that Terra is so good on it. So, yeah, Superior.
I guess just leave it there. You think it's better than Charizard?
I think so. Yeah, I think it's probably better than Megazard Y just because of the Stealth Rock weakness more than anything. But yeah, it's really difficult to deal with. It snowballs hard, and yeah, it's versatile. It's good.
My man Emboar.
Trash.
But he gets Scald! That's why he's the GOAT!
I mean, Emboar, you know what? I saw Emboar used by somebody in draft once as a Terra captain, and it actually did really well. It was really difficult for most people to deal with.
That's why he's the GOAT.
So I'd be tempted to put it's alright, but I think overall it's pretty trash. Like it hits
we have nothing in It's I.
But there'll be stuff that'll go there, don't worry. I'm looking at a few right now, in fact.
But yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, he's slow. Like, what else is there to
slow, not
say?
even that bulky. It's got no defenses and all HP,
I
which is like
know.
okay, I guess. But like, look at like what weird stats, man. I don't know. It's super strange.
Yeah,
to me.
very strange stat spread. He's got the Guzzlord effect going. Like, he's got good HP, he ain't got good defenses, so he's not really bulky. He's deceptive.
So then, yeah, I mean, you've got like Reckless, which is like okay, like it's a good ability and it synergizes well with Flare Blitz, and Wild Charge, Hedge Smash, but you're so slow that like you're not
yeah,
gonna even make use of those things. Like
you're just
ever.
gonna
Like,
die before you could really.
you're gonna get maybe
going.
one attack off. Yeah, and that's it. Like no priority to its name. It's just a worse Hisui and Arcanine.
Yeah,
And
by
that's
quite a bit.
unfortunate.
It's a shame.
So
Base Samurai. Why do I also want to put this in trash? It's probably just.
I actually think it's below. I actually think it's below Embo.
Really?
I think it's so like no, it's just unimpressive. That's the
It
problem
is.
with Samurai.
It's the U,
is-
bro.
Super unimpressive. There's
Hold on,
nothing
it's
about
got
it.
shell
It's
armor.
ZU. It gets shell armor. It has like decent coverage, which is great for Hisui and Samurott. Thank you for contributing because nobody else wants to run this. But yeah, this thing just doesn't.
It doesn't do
much.
anything.
No.
It's mixed, but like not in a good way. Like it.
Like, yeah, like it's like Infernape, but with not as much speed and like that's
Not good.
and
Not as
really
good
much
moves.
coverage.
I think that's the big thing. It doesn't. Have,
Yeah.
it doesn't have good moves.
No, it's got a couple. Like it's got like Encore and like Aquajet, I guess.
But like
So,
you don't have
they're all
anything to
kind
like
of
nuke. Like Infernape has close combat. Like this. Like
Yeah, it doesn't even get Wave Crush, does it?
no.
No. So it's kind of gonna struggle. But yeah,
He does kind of suck.
fortunately, they made Hisuian Samurai.
That's why he's not
Let's
gold.
go! Broken! This thing's super fucking good, dude. It ruled the meta at one point alongside Goldengo in Gen 9. I think it still does do really well in Nat decks. Yeah, Hisuian Samurai, man. I mean, Sharpness is just a perfect ability for it. Its stats actually haven't really changed all that much from normal Samurai. But just the ability to hit harder through its ability. Its signature move Ceaseless Edge is just ridiculous because you
What's
do
the
damage
base
and
power?
Spike.
What's the base power of Ceaseless Edge after Sharpness?
It's 90. It's 97 point. No, it's 97.5. I'm pretty sure.
Plus stab.
With stab, fucking hell, yeah, getting me to do maths now. Yeah,
It's a lot.
With stab, it's just
It's a
double.
lot
Yeah.
percent.
It's 50 and 50. Yeah, so it's like what 130 total. Yeah, there you go. That'll be the number. So yeah, it's a lot of that.
strong boy.
It's a lot of fucking damage.
It's
yeah,
setting up
for
spikes for each
fucking-
Ceaseless Edge. Spikes,
Mhm.
like the reason why Ceaseless Edge feels so much stronger than like Stone Axe on like what's it called? The freaking Scyther thing. I don't freaking remember what that thing's called. Like Ceaseless
Maybe
Edge,
still not. Cleaver, sorry.
Cleavor, right? Like you're spamming Ceaseless Edge, so you're getting multiple spike layers, like
Mhm.
multiple. I mean, hell, I would even argue like 2 spike layers is probably better than 1 rock layer, right? Overall.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, well, like it's just like there's benefit to just clicking it multiple times,
Yeah.
which you will a lot of the time. I mean, it's just a no downside move.
Mhm.
Like there's nothing else to it. Like
It's
you
honestly
click it
like
and
one of the
that's it.
best competitive moves out there, Ceaseless Edge.
Ceaseless is really good. Like, and even like there's even like little things that it gets that's like really nice for it. Like Sharpness boosts like the most random moves, like Aerial Ace and Air Slash as well. Like
It's
Sacred
true, and it
Sword.
gives it better better
Aqua
coverage of that
Cutter,
too.
Razor Shell, which is his other signature move, or used to be his other signature move.
It doesn't get
like-
Razor Shell. Wait, I'm sure it does.
Does yeah? Does yeah?
Oh,
Looking at that.
but does it not use it, or does it still use it?
People usually use Aqua Cutter because they can't miss. That's the only reason.
That's true.
Yeah, but yeah, like, I mean, in draft as well. I might even spoke about it in draft. In draft, it's incredible too. Like, hazards are always going to be good in draft because you've got a limited amount of defoggers and rapid spinners that you can draft
Mhm.
in it as well. So it's tough to deal with, but I do not think. I don't think it's above Blaziken or Blastoise. So.
I kind of
Mega
agree.
Blaziken or Mega
I think
Blastoise,
like
so.
the thing with Samurai, it kind of relies on item. Like, I think without a good item, this thing is not as good. Like, and even then, like, it's not that strong. Well, Sharpness definitely
Yeah,
helps it a lot.
it's usually, yeah, you're usually going to find these things running like a focus sash set or like a scarf set. It's a pretty good scarf user.
It is a pretty good scarf user. That's probably what I would choose. Choice scarf and then just spam Cecil Sage.
Yeah.
But even then,
I ran this in a speed tour once. Like it just does a lot, man. It's just so good.
It does do a lot, but I do still think it's lower than Blaziken just because it doesn't have as much variance. I think. Like, and again, it relies on its item a lot. I think.
Yeah, Mega Blaziken's definitely a lot better. Chestnut. Now this is an interesting one. I actually think this one's alright. I actually quite like Chestnut. Well, more than putting it in trash, that is, and there's a reason.
I mean, it's alright.
It's alright, right? So, its main thing is body press plus iron defense, right? But it also gets synthesis to heal itself up. So, you know, it's got like a niche there, and like iron defense body press is pretty good, even though its type's kind of bad. Its type's terrible.
It's a decent physical wall. You click iron defense, click body press. I can respect it.
Terra is not bad for it because its types are bad. So
you know what I think would make this thing a lot better? If it got freaking shell armor. Like, could you imagine not getting crit through iron defense buffs?
That would be incredibly broken. To be honest, the way they could buff this thing, just give it Dauntless Shield.
Well, obviously.
Give it Dauntless Shield. No,
yeah, let's just give it a legendary ability. That would.
Yeah, just throw a Dauntless Shield on it. No, but in seriousness, like, yeah, Chestnut's obviously held back by a lot of things. It's slow. It's a bulky Pokemon, but has a terrible defensive typing. But it does get stabbed by your pressing and iron defense.
I was about to say it's trying to be bulky, but it has a really bad defensive typing. Like Breloom is a good mon, but it's mainly because of Technician, Mach Punch, Bullet Seed, and it doesn't have the worst speed stat ever. Like Chestnut's slow, and you know it's meant to be bulky.
Breloom's slower than Chestnut. Right?
No, Breloom's 75, dude.
Is it? I've used Breloom before. Oh, it's 70, so it's not even that much faster, really.
To be fair, but it's less than I expected. No, it is faster, yeah.
But Breloom's an offensive Pokemon. That's what makes that's the.
Yeah, I mean that's the difference. And obviously Breloom has Mach Punch and Spore and other things like.
Yeah. So Chestnut just struggles, but it's not as bad as Meganium. Nowhere near. It's not as bad as Ember. Nowhere near.
No, I do definitely think it's a tier above. You're right. I mean it's alright.
Delphox. I actually think Delphox is slightly above Sceptile. Delphox is a great Pokemon.
It has good stats. I remember I was doing
decent stats.
I was doing an in-game starter tier list for TikTok, and I remember this thing's stats shocked me. This thing has 104 speed, 100 SpDef, and 114 special attack. Like, tell me this thing doesn't scream Calm Mind right now. Like,
Calm Mind, Nasty Plot, but it can do both. I can comment a little bit more about this on draft because I used it last season as a Terracap. It's really good. It's a really good Terracap. It's nice and bulky, more so than you think. So
yeah, I mean, there's a good SpDef stat. It's fine HP. Yeah. You run the Magician, steal their item. No.
But you can do that type of thing, but yeah, typically speaking, you're going to run your Assault Vest set, so you're going to run your Specs or Scarf or, you know, or set up with like leftovers.
Yeah, there's options. I actually think it's pretty strong. I'm wondering if it's better than the Typhlows. The problem is that Eruption is just that good of a move.
I think the amount of raw power that Typhlows have are probably better than Delphox.
Yeah, it's just Eruption, man. Eruption is so good.
Yeah, that raw power is kind of carrying them above Delphox for sure.
Yeah. I mean, let me put it this way. I think if, like, what is the best spammable moves? Like, Eruption's up there. Like, it's just
knock off Cecil Sage are both up there, and Samurott gets both.
Contrary Leaf Storm.
Yeah, Contrary Leaf Storm's super spammable. Like, fucking U-turn as well, I guess, and flip turn and stuff. Fire moves from that Megazards, both really strong, hard to swap into. So, yeah, there's some spammable stuff. I mean, I suppose one move doesn't make a Pokemon unless it's something as strong as, well, as Eruption, which makes them mid.
No, for sure.
So, yeah, you know, Delphox is alright. It's not like crazy, but it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's fine. I like that.
It's
all right, yeah. I'm gonna argue for my man Gren here. So, here's the thing: in National Dex format, it doesn't let you turn into Ash Greninja anymore, right?
I don't think that's true. I'm pretty sure that deck does.
It does.
Does it?
It turns into the form. I think it.
I'm gonna look that up.
I'm pretty sure.
Oh no, it's illegal now. No,
Yeah.
no, it doesn't get it anymore. Yeah, it's got nerfed.
So
Unlucky.
this is like kind of a weird case because it's one of the only things that national decks kind of like just didn't bring back. I want to talk about the legacy of Ashgren because like it was so relevant for Gen 7, and was it an 8?
It was no, it wasn't. It was only Gen 7. It was
only Gen
extremely
7.
broken in Gen 7.
Like I
The-
mean
the
hell
thing- yeah.
Gren was in Ubers for a good part
Mhm.
of Gen 6 and 7.
Yeah.
Like Protein and Battle Bond were both amazing sets, and the fact that this starter had 2 different abilities it could switch between that were both insane in completely different ways is like really telling.
Both of them got nerfed this generation. That's why he can't turn into Ash Greninja anymore. He could turn into Ash Greninja in Nat decks up
It
until
is kind of
Gen 9,
crazy.
and then they nerfed it.
Both of his
Yeah.
abilities got nerfed.
Yeah, I mean, I can see why though. Protein and Slash Libero were completely broken.
No, I could
Right.
see. Honestly, I'm more upset about Battle Bond. I could see
Look at-
Protein.
I mean, you say that. Look at it. Listen to these stats for Ash Greninja. Bear in mind, he can hold an item. 145 attack, 153 special attack, and 132 speed. It was completely ludicrous.
It
was
is
not
ludicrous.
fair.
It is
That was
ludicrous.
not fair.
But listen, man, it was cool. You had to get a kill.
Oh yeah, Ash Greninja's one of my favorite water type ever. And I think it's really
He's
cool.
cool, bruh.
Yeah, he is really cool. And I
Um,
love him. I love him. But God, he was so bad for the game.
I wanna. Again, this is very weird, because I just don't even feel like it's
This is
fair.
current.
I really just don't even think it's fair that he got nerfed so hard.
Okay, that's the way it works. I think he's the top of really good.
But he deserves broken, man, for all
I-
that he managed to
actually don't
do.
even. Actually, the more I think about it, Serperior's a lot better. Megazards are both better.
I
Mega
know,
Swamp-
but
it might be
like,
above Mega Swamp. Above Mega Swamp. seems
look,
like a
if
good
we're
place
just
to go.
talking Gen 9, no, I totally agree. But like, man, this isn't fair, dude. My man did everything.
They had to nerf him. We've at least talked about the past of his fucking strength in Gen 7. But yeah,
This
they
isn't
nerfed it pretty hard.
fair. This
They nerfed
isn't
him pretty hard and he's
fair.
still really good. That's the thing, they nerfed him super hard from being broken to being really good. Like, that's still not bad. So, yeah.
I think he's
he's
here.
I disagree. I think the Megazards are a lot better. Like, bearing in mind, Greninja does not hit that hard, really. It's got 103
No.
special attack. It's
But
fast,
he's
which is great.
cool.
It's fast. The Greninja's cool as fuck. Protein's a great ability. It's just not as good as it used to be. Its coverage is
I
great.
mean, it
Yeah,
had
he's just
so
solid.
many. Like, to preface again, like, again in comp, you'd have to guess whether he was Battle Bond or Protein. You never knew until it came out. Like, and it got so many moves. Like, it had Shadow Sneak for turning to Ghost. It had freaking
Mhm.
Toxic Spikes. It had
Spikes.
it had a wide move set, man.
Yeah, he used to use spikes to turn into ground.
You used to be able to get stab on all your moves with Protein, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, it's still a really good ability. It's just not as good as it used to be. Same with Battle Bond. Battle Bond's still a great ability.
Yeah,
It's
Battle
not as
Bond.
good
What?
as
It gives you a Quiver Dance if you kill something now.
It gives you attacks. It's attack, special attack, and speed. So it's like
Okay.
it's like half a Shell Smash. with
Which
Biden.
is fine. It's not as good though, and I know that.
It's nowhere near as good, unfortunately. If it was like old Ash Greninja, it'd probably be unbroken because it's that stupid. But
Where do you think
It's not
if
all
it
that
didn't get nerfed on either Protein or Battle Bond, where do you think it would be?
probably goat status, dude. I don't know. That like.
Do you think
those
it's
stats on Ash
do you think
Greninja
do you
are
think it's better than
ridiculous.
all of these?
I actually do. If it had old Ash Greninja or Protein, I actually do. I think more
Maybe.
Ash Greninja than Protein though. Those stats are ridiculous, man.
I think it's not even just it's not the fact of the stats for me or Ash
with the
Greninja.
coverage as well.
I think personally, I think it's just like the versatility. Like
Mhm.
both sets are so insane in different ways.
It's rare that you ever find a Pokemon that's that versatile and that fast and that strong.
It's rare you find a
Like,
Pokemon in
I-
general that runs two
Really
different
good.
sets that are both insane,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a starter on top of that. Like, I think that's the main reason, because usually all the starters only have one viable ability, which is their
Mhm.
hidden ability, usually.
They gave
um,
it two hidden abilities. It was
They
a
basically
pretty
gave it two
interesting-
hidden abilities that are both insane.
Yeah, I mean, Ash. To be fair, like Ash Greninja is still great. I mean, not Ash Greninja. Greninja's great in draft too. Like, it's fast. It gets a lot of hazards, and like we just explained, versatility. Which anyone that's played draft knows how good versatility is. So
Mhm.
even after its fall from grace, it's still proving why it's a really good Pokemon. Kind of like Blaziken. Even
Yeah.
after its fall from grace, it's still proving why it deserves to be on your team. Really, they're both really, really good.
It
Yeah.
feels weird to have Gren not in the same tier as Blaziken.
It's because of Mega Blaziken, remember? Mega Blaziken's
know.
bumping it up because Mega Blaziken's really good.
Decadui.
Decidueye. Decadui, yeah. I don't like this Pokemon. Design-wise, I also don't like it in competitive. I really don't. When I first saw Decidueye, I was like, oh my god, this Pokemon looks dumb.
I like
Like,
Decidueye.
I don't like Decidueye. Its hidden ability sucks as well.
That's true.
Um,
Hey, this is
I mean-
basically punching glove, bro.
hmm I mean, what is there even to say about this Pokemon? Spirit Shackle's a pretty good move. It traps you when you get hit by it, which is cool. But
What if
it's
this?
not- it's
What
pretty
if?
bulky.
What if Spirit Shackle was
Bulky.
Pursuit?
I think Spirit Shackle's got a fine effect. I think it's a great effect, in fact. You trap someone in. It's
No, it
pretty strong.
is. But what if it
Um,
also was Pursuit?
I mean, I guess, if you want. But yeah, this thing's like a decent defensive Pokemon. Like, I guess. Like, it gets Defog, it gets Roost, which is rare these days. Like, U-Turn. It's alright. It's alright. I can't say it's that bad. Like, I've seen it work.
I think it's better
okay.
in draft. It actually
a
is
little
kinda
better in
good in
draft,
draft.
yeah.
It's mixed. It can run Nasty Plot or Swords Dance. It has Defog. It has it has
not.
Haze. It actually has a lot. Honestly,
Shadow Sneak's good for it. Yeah, Sucker Punch, Swords Dance is obviously
it has
nice.
U-Turn. I actually think it has more than you're giving it credit for. I actually do think it's mid.
It's still just alright. I don't know. It does a lot of things, but what we're gonna bear in mind is it doesn't do any of them particularly well.
Yeah, but I don't think
Um,
Sceptile does anything particularly well.
I know, but it's getting carried by its Mega. Remember, like the Mega Sceptile. Like you're looking at the screen and not thinking about the Megas. Like
I
the Mega
think-
Sceptile, like it's fast, it's strong, like
Mega
it has that going for
Sceptile.
it. The situation is kind of like not that impressive, honestly, stat wise either.
Well, obviously
Like,
not
look at,
stat
like,
wise,
it's got
but
some juice stats. Look at those. Woo.
Mega Sceptile, 145 special attack, 145 speed.
Mhm.
But the thing is that Decidueye can run any item. It can bulk. It can use Swords Dance. It could use Nasty Plot. It has good
Hmm.
coverage.
It
It has
doesn't really matter
knockoff.
though, because it's slow. Yeah, but look how slow it is, dude. How is it gonna make use of Swords Dance when you can when it's a
Swords
grass
Dance
ghost type that you
Synthesis,
can
bro.
one-shot it?
Swords Dance Tailwind, run up.
So, assuming, yeah, okay. No, it's just gonna get a fucking one shot because it's weak to like everything.
It's immune to
weak the-
spinners. It's
Mhm.
not
weak to
that
the most
bad.
Common. It's all right. It's weak to the most common type in the game. Well, the most common move in the game, knockoff. It gets hit by fire, ghost. Ghost is also a very common type because like Dragapult's running around. And you've got like, like dark types everywhere. But I'm looking at a couple of dark types that are relevant on the screen at the moment. I don't think its speed is what's holding it back. It's the problem. It can't be
Yeah.
a sweeper because it doesn't have the speed for it.
I still think in draft
so-
specific, if this was draft specifically, I definitely think it's mid. But
Mm.
I do think that in comp there's better options overall, like by a
Mhm.
lot. But I think in draft this thing's actually like
Yeah.
pretty good. Like this is a sleeper draft mon.
Yeah, it's decent. I think its counterpart, its Hisuian form, is a lot better. In general, I think its Hisuian form has a lot more of a defined kind of. Actually, does it though? Not really. Actually, it's I changed my
Decadui
mind.
Hisui is much slower.
No, Hisui kind of sucks too. Actually, I think we're on the same team. In fact, is this thing trash?
I always thought this thing was kind of trash. I think its signature move's good, right?
Let's see. Yeah, it's got a more defined role, but like its typing is even worse than Decidueye's. It gets triple arrows, which is a pretty good signature move, but like it's still slow as hell.
Okay. Yeah, this is a good move. Damn. 100
Yeah.
accuracy, 90 power, high crit, 50% chance minus defense, and 30% flinch. That is insane.
It is. I just feel like it's not flinching anything with 60 speed. And like lowering the defense is like fine, I guess. It's not a bad. It's not a bad effect, I suppose. It's not as good as normal Decidueye, and you know how bad I've just been shitting on it. So this thing's just even worse. Like I do
You might be
not
right.
think it's really got much of
You
a
might be right.
place.
If this thing was fast, man, this thing would be insane.
Mm-hmm.
Just because of this move.
They really should have gone that direction. If they had, then I actually would have thought this was pretty good.
Yeah, I don't know why they.
offensive
I don't know
type.
why they decided to make the Arceus Mon so slow. Like,
True.
it's honestly kind of annoying because like this thing
Mhm.
deserves to be good. Like, this freaking move is insane, but like without being
Yeah.
faster, who
It-
cares?
Imagine being Decidueye right now, finally getting another form and watching Samurott fucking take the spotlight because your secondary form just sucks. Like it's just bad.
It probably is
Like,
worse. It's such a
yeah,
bummer, but it
it's
probably is
super
worse.
bad. But it's unfortunate, man. Unlucky. Like,
Do we think
I might
it's?
even argue it's worse than Chestnut. I think it's worse than Chestnut.
I don't know, man. That freaking signature move is so good. I mean,
I suppose
Like,
it's a
I
decent
think-
signature move.
choice scarf triple arrows. Like, you're not gonna outspeed everything, but it's probably like okay. I mean, you gotta
Yeah.
think about it, man. This is 30% flinch, 50%
Mhm.
minus defense, high crit.
Oh yeah, it's an insanely good like move, 100%.
I think it's the best. Well, I can't say it's the best signature move because it's the edge is there.
No,
But like, okay, if this was put
better
on,
than Infernal Parade.
if this was put on 100 base speed, I think it's comparable to Season's Edge. Is that crazy?
It's really strong. It's a staple in Hackmons.
Yeah, no, I bet.
Or almost
I
any
bet it is.
move.
I mean, you gotta-
But
No, but like realistically, like any 30% flinch move is crazy in general. And you also stack that on top with these other effects. And it's 90 base attack
Yeah.
and 100 accuracy.
if you're using like if you're doing like a hack meta game, you could put it on like Jirachi or something.
Oh, that'd be a good list. We should do a list
Like-
of all the signature moves.
This one's really good though. This is a really great signature move. It just does not carry this awful Pokemon.
It's just it's just
unfortunately.
the Mon is not built for the move. It's really a bummer.
No.
Like, why would you put a 30% flinch move on a freaking slow ass 60 base speed looking ass Mon?
It makes no sense. So yeah, I think he's personally lower than Chestnut, but I don't really care. They're both pretty bad.
I definitely think he's a bit above, only because Choice Scarf Triple Arrows could probably do something.
True. Well, yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
My
Mr.
man,
VGC. We're not talking about VGC.
in Kinnaroar.
Incineroar's just mid, man. In singles, obviously in doubles he's incredible, but in singles he has his places. Pretty decent in draft as a dark type, which is relevant for obviously dark types and ghost types to resist them. But intimidate strong, parting short, U-turn. Like he's just solid. He's just a solid defensive piece. It's like a pivot.
You don't think he's really good?
mid? No.
Because
I
I'm
don't
looking
think
at
he's really good.
Feraligatr right now, and I think Incineroar is a lot better.
He's probably above Feraligatr, 100%.
And I'm looking at Infernape, and I still think he might be a little better.
I don't think so. Not for singles.
You don't think so?
Yeah, not for singles.
It's still Intim Parting Shot, man. Slow Parting Shot.
Yeah, but I don't know. Infernape, it's a tough one. Like Infernape and Incineroar are on a very similar level. I could see the argument of putting him next to Infernape. The more I think about it, actually.
Because like, I don't know, man. He just has good moves in general. Like Darkest Lariat, freaking Knockoff, Fake Out. Like Intim combined with Fake Out's really strong even in singles. Like,
I mean, I don't think anyone actually runs that in singles. You're always gonna run like
you can, especially
you
in
just not-
draft.
Like, you just don't have the move slots for it. Usually, you're probably gonna run like.
You're probably right, but either way, I mean,
Yeah,
hell,
fire
you have
move,
options
but-
between Parting Shot and U-turn. You have Willow.
Yeah.
Like, he's just some pretty good
Yeah.
options, man.
Well, yeah, he's not a bad Pokemon at all. I could see the argument for putting him just below Infernape or even above Infernape.
I
to
think
be
he's
honest.
above.
It's debatable.
I really do think
Yeah, it's
he's above.
debatable, really, because he has a better defensive type with Dark. I think the issue is that he's, for me, again, is that he's weak to Stealth Rocks, but he's a defensive Pokemon. That does hold him back a decent bit,
Fair enough.
but not enough. Not enough, I don't think. But it's just worth mentioning.
I think He's above
because you got to run
Infernape.
boots on him. Yeah, you got to run boots on him. You can't run anything else. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I don't feel too strongly about Infernape or in singles or in Incineroar in singles, to be honest. So they're kind of interchangeable for me. But yeah, I think above Infernape's a good placement. I wouldn't mind putting him below Infernape either. To be honest, they're very similar.
I think that's
So
fine.
they're not in what they do, but similar power level
Right.
in singles, obviously. Primarina, I think is really good actually. I really like Primarina.
Primarina, Water Fairy, Spam Moonblast.
Primarina, it's just hits hard.
Get that liquid
Takes a lot of moves.
voice, Hyper Voice.
Yeah, you could do like, well, it also got a really interesting option in Liquid Voice, Psychic Noise.
Oh yeah.
So you can have like a water type Psychic Noise, which is pretty cool. But I mean,
Does
it's
Liquid
more,
Voice
that's
even
a little bit
does
more
Liquid
niche.
Voice even buff like the power?
It doesn't buff, no. It just changes the type,
So
unfortunately. It is really odd. But yeah, like Draining Kiss, Carmine Draining Kiss sets are like really threatening. Encore is really good on this. It gets Flip Turn. It really can, even though it's slow, it really is good as like either a wall breaker or as just like a defensive piece. Because
Yeah,
it's
I mean,
an amazing type.
It's really bulky. I don't even know what else to say. Like, it's really bulky. It's strong. I mean, 126 special attack on a starter is kind of insane.
Yeah, it's bulky, it's strong. He's got a really good offensive type.
Hell, this thing gets
and
energy
defensive
ball.
type.
Like, it's got some
good coverage. Yeah, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing. Honestly, Primarina is really good.
It's got a Z move.
Sure, if you want to use that, yeah, you would. But yeah, I rate it. Yeah,
I don't even know. Probably.
I think it goes in really good. Probably, I'd say it's probably around.
You think it's better than Polion?
That's a tough one. They're very similar.
I think they're right next to each other.
I think they're like next to each other. Yeah. I think we're around a similar thing.
What's a better
It's a
typing, Water
difficult one.
Fairy or Water Steel?
Offensively, Water Fairy. Defensively, Water Steel.
Probably Empoleon then, right? Because they're meant to be defensive.
I don't know. It's a difficult one.
Primarina is more of an
Primarina
offensive
can
mon,
run
though.
specs. Yeah,
That's
Primarina
true.
can run specs and stuff. So
God, just
I'm happy
just-
with either or. I think it's a tough one. That.
honestly, I'm actually gonna go with Primarina. I think Moonblast
Mhm.
with that much special attack
Just-
is just so strong.
It's just spammable. You just spam it.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing else to it. And then there's also the thing that you pressure a kill and then you can flip turn out and stuff as well
Mm-hmm.
if you really want. So yeah, Prim's good. Yeah, I really like Prim. Rillaboom. Rillaboom.
My man Rillaboom. If this was, if this was freaking Gen 8, it'd be freaking. That's why he's the GOAT.
Yeah, Rillaboom is like for me. Rillaboom's the top of really good. There's nothing else really to say about it. In fact, no, he's even bordering broken, man. Like, Grassy Glide got nerfed. He did not give a fuck. He was just like, okay, who cares? He's just does whatever he wants, man. He sets that terrain up. He's got really good partners this gen. You can get like Ogerpon in there with Grassy Glide. You've got like you can get like Pokemon that really appreciates grassy terrain but don't have healing. Stuff like Great Tusk that can't heal, or Iron Treads that can't heal, can appreciate grassy terrain. He just hits hard. He's bulky. He can run a lot of different like moves. He gets more or less like.
I mean, he gets
shot
knockoff. He gets acrobatics if you want to do that.
Knock acrobatics with like Grassy Seed. He's got swords
Grassy
on
Seed
to set up
acrobatics,
with
yeah.
him. He's pretty broken. There's not really much else to say about Rillaboom. Woodhammer hits really hard under grassy terrain. You could do stuff like Life Orb sets, and when the grassy terrain healing will offset
Yeah.
the Life
Yeah,
Orb
you can run
damage.
him as a bulky set pretty well too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Grassy terrain. That's right.
And in draft, like I used him last season, he's just a crazy good enabler for teams, especially
Do
when
you
if you bring on
think
Burn
he's
and Sweeper.
above Samu? It sets up terrain. Would you rather have that terrain or the spikes?
I think the spikes, because the spikes apply more pressure directly to your opponent,
Mm-hmm.
whereas like when it's you, like when it's like with terrain, everybody can benefit from it.
I
and
hate
stuff like that.
the fact that Blastoise is up there.
It's Mega Blastoise. It's not.
I get
normal
it,
Blastoise sucks,
but it
everybody
just
knows
makes me mad.
that.
And it's
You know
only
it makes
because of
sense, though.
Shell Smash.
Yeah, he got a huge buff, man. But yeah, no, I mean, even with the nerfs, Rillaboom's not phased by it at all. So yeah.
I
Cinderace.
will put Cinderace. It's hard.
Cinderace is great.
Cinderace is
really
great. Man, I don't think that this is accurate in terms of like tiering or anything, but I actually think Cinderace is better than Rillaboom. Is that cap?
That's super cap in my opinion. Libero got hard nerfed this gen.
Well, Libero was always, you know, it was nerfed in Gen 8, you realize.
No, it wasn't.
Was it not?
No, Libero works exactly like Protein last gen. That's why it was so good.
Oh, no, you're
And
right.
it is really good this gen. But yeah, it
No,
got
no,
nerfed
you're,
this
you're
gen.
actually right. You're actually right. I forgot.
And because of that nerf, it holds it back a lot. But it's got a lot going for it. The only issue is that Rillaboom just has more going for it.
You might be right, but listen, man. Like, Pyro Ball.
I think
Court
yeah, I mean,
change.
Pyro Ball's great. Court Change is also a great move. The only problem with Cinderace really is because it's an offensive fire type, but half the time you see it running fucking heavy duty boots because it just is. You want it to come in and Court Change something.
Court
and
change
you
is
don't
so
want it to
good.
take
It's
hazard
worth it.
and Stealth Rocks and stuff. And
Bro.
like, yeah, Court Change is really good. Yeah, it is really good. But
Court
it's not-
change does something that this is the only mon in the entire game that gets court change, bro. Court change, I would argue, is just almost
It's-
entirely better
it's
default.
good. It's good. It's not better default because
Bro,
if you've
yes,
got like
it
hazards on their side.
is. Yes, it
Hazards on
is.
no, because it swaps hazards. It can have a downside. Like if like for
If
example,
you're not,
you've got
if you
hazards on
are
their
not
side-
running hazards, then Cinderace is actually crazy. I'll put it this way:
True, sure.
if you're not
would
running
agree with
hazards, and this is really getting competitive, right? Just regular comp. This could basically be your defogger with boots on.
Well,
Because
yeah,
whenever they
Cinderace
set
had
up
a
on you, you're just
niche,
putting it right
yeah.
back on them. I've used this a
Well,
lot.
Yeah, it was. Cinderace had a niche specifically because it could Court Change into Goldengo, which was obviously not possible with Rapid Spin or with
Right.
with Defog. The only problem is like
And it also works on
Cinderace itself hits
screens.
hazards.
They set up screens.
And-
Give them to me.
I mean, sure. I don't think Alolan Ninetales is around that often, is it? I suppose in draft it's pretty good Court Change, but I don't know. I think Cinderace is fine. I think they're just I don't know.
Bro, it
it's
has
okay.
stab, sucker
It's
punch.
strong.
Stab, sucker
I-
punch.
I honestly, I mean,
Stab,
I guess.
U-turn.
Stab U-turn's nice, I guess. Assuming that you didn't use a different move before, yeah,
Right.
that's the way it works.
But,
But you can like first turn U-turn.
yeah. and
Pyro
a
Ball's
lot of times
obviously
that
a really
happens.
good move. Yeah, Pyro Ball's obviously a really good move. Yeah, it doesn't have a. It's got a pretty good speed tier at 119.
119
like,
is
it-
insane speed.
It's pretty good, yeah. It's unfortunately not as insane as it would have used to be, but it's pretty good. Like you got like 142 Pokemon like Dragapult running around, or 130, like 130 and shit. It's just
Man.
like
How strong is Grassy Glide?
right now with terrain. Ooh, I can't remember. I used to see. I think it's like what's the number on it now? So it's 55 power, so boost that by like 30%. So that brings it to what, like 72 roughly, 70 something, which is a lot of damage.
Bro,
with
Sucker
that.
Punch is almost
A lot
that
of
strong.
damage. It's almost, but you've got to if they have to attack. Like Sucker Punch has a
Nothing's
downside, it's
stronger
not
than
just-
Pyro Ball, bro.
It's like, I suppose so. I mean, Pyro Ball is a really good move. I'm not doubting that, but
It's
I don't think-
Pyro Ball.
I don't think you can really compare Sucker Punch to Grassy Glide. I think Grassy Glide is a lot safer. You just click it; it doesn't matter what they do.
True.
They can't work. They can't like play around it. And also, most Cinderace sets don't even have room for Sucker Punch. To be honest, like, they
Usually,
run, what, Pyro Ball, High Jump Kick, U-turn, and then like Court Change.
I'm also a
right?
big fan of Cinderace in draft. I feel like I would even argue
I
Cinderace
like it in
is.
draft.
I would even argue Cinderace is even more versatile than Rillaboom in draft.
To be honest, I'm not a huge fan of Cinderace in draft because of its points. I think it costs a lot, man.
Well, it
More
costs a
than I'm
lot
willing
because
to
it's
pay for
really
it.
good. Like it's.
Mhm.
Court
Yeah, it
change.
costs more than I'm willing to pay.
I mean, you don't even
personally.
need to use court change in draft, you know? Like,
No.
high jump kick, you could use as an
Yeah.
option. I've used it a lot.
HJK is pretty common.
Like,
Yeah.
high jump kick with stab is ridiculous.
It's really strong.
I've run Banded Cinderace a bunch, just run 4 really strong moves. Like, let me show you
Okay.
this set. Pyro Ball, high jump kick, Sucker Punch, and there's one more I used to...
Probably U-turn.
Yeah, U-turn. Tell me this is not such a cop choice band set.
It's strong. No, I'm not denying. Like Cinderace is really strong with choice band, but yeah, again, like it's one because it's
The
an
thing is, he
offensive-
doesn't even need the choice band. He has a lot of attack. I don't think...
well,
I think
usually
Rillaboom's only hitting his grass type moves strong, whereas Libero lets Cinderace hit all of his stab moves really strong. Granted, once, but you
Well-
could click U-turn.
Well, to be fair, I mean it is a 30% boost to already stab, so it is quite a hefty boost. I mean, a lot of the time it doesn't even care what you're fucking doing. He's gonna click Woodhammer and he's gonna roll a lot of damage. But you can run a lot more on Rilla. You can run like if you want, you could do like a Sword Dance set on him. You could do like choice band. You could do Assault Vest. You could do like you could even do like a Leech Seed set. And just be
You know what?
really
This
annoying.
comparison is closer than I think
Like-
it is. I mean, they're both in the same tier, and
Like they're just like, I mean, it's just they do very different things, but I feel like Rillaboom does more overall. Especially,
I
like,
think
since you can
Cinderace
run
does
him
more.
with, like I think you can run him a lot more ways. Like half the time, I don't even see Cinderace run a different item. I see it run heavy duty boots, and that's it.
well, it can run a bunch. I mean, Band is really strong.
But people don't, and there's a reason for that, and that's because people get destroyed by Stealth Rock or they run Court Change, and obviously that's like the synergy, right?
Well, if you're running
Um,
court change, you always run heavy duty boots.
Mhm.
But you don't need to run court change. Is my point. Like it's a strong offensive mon. Like these stats.
Yeah,
like we were
absolutely.
just looking at freaking Infernape earlier. These stats are almost entirely better than Infernape.
This is a way better Pokemon than Inferno.
Yes.
That is without.
But I would argue
without comparing
Cinderace
it to
is.
Inferno.
I'm saying Cinderace is better than Rillaboom though. Like, look this. Like,
Mm,
Rillaboom has 85 speed, bro. What the frick? Like, if you're
doesn't
not
need
clicking
speed.
Grassy Glide, you're not outspeeding. Not really.
It doesn't need to be. That's why Grassy Glide's so good at it, because it doesn't need, like that offsets its only downside, which is that its speed's not that good.
Like usually
it's
you'd run
still
Rillaboom with a
ridiculously strong.
band. Usually you'd run a Rillaboom with a band.
Well, not usually. You don't have like this is what I'm trying to say. Like you don't have to run it with a band. You can run it with Life Orb. You can run it Assault Vest because it's got good bulk and you can like heal itself. It can run Leftovers and have double healing off of grassy terrain and Leftovers. And then if you want to throw Leech Seed instead, now all of a sudden you've got like this really difficult to remove Pokemon, even despite it being a grass type. You wouldn't run Earthquake. You do High Horsepower. Like Knockoff. High Horsepower is like it gets all the coverage it needs. It's not like the craziest.
Why do
coverage
you
in
run
the
high
world.
horsepower?
Because Earthquake's weaker in grassy terrain.
Oh no, you're right.
You get like U-turn, which can function as like a slow U-turn, which enables other Pokemon. So like you've got all those like coverage options on top of the fact that, Woodhammer is in grassy terrain, does not care. Like, even if you are throwing a choice band with it, does not care about most Pokemon. Like it does not. Like he doesn't care if you resist it. Like, he doesn't. Unless you're like.
Bro, I
Starmie
really
or
think
Corviknight,
I
you don't care.
really think Cinderace is quite a bit better actually.
No, I disagree. I
Just
think
looking
I
at
think
these
terrain-
movesets.
Mhm. I mean, yeah, but terrain.
And there's so much
You've heard-
versatility here.
What's
like,
it called?
you don't even
Cinderace
need
doesn't
to-
set up terrain.
I mean, hell,
as well.
you could run like high speed Iron Head flinching too. You have Gunk Shot. Gunk Shot's insane. Turn to a poison type.
Gunk Shot's good. I don't like it personally because it can miss quite often.
I mean, yeah,
but-
but like you can. Like on draft teams, like that could be
can.
insane if there's a
Yeah.
really prevalent fairy type. I mean, hell, I've run that a lot. Acrobatics
But
can be
you're-
run.
It can, but you'd have to get rid of your item somehow. So you'd have to figure that out first. like,
I still just think like
you are getting stab on everything, but you still got to come in as a fire type, and that's
this is
the
kind of my point though.
awkward
Like if
It-
you have
it-
Pyro Ball,
bit.
the only move you really need is well, okay, if you're running a court change set,
Paraball's very broken, don't get me wrong. Like, Paraball is an incredibly good move.
if you're running a court change set with boots. This is all you really need. Like, this is kind of a perfect move set.
I don't know about that.
This is such a good move set. I've used this a lot in
The-
comp.
Like, I mean, yeah, you can run that if you want, but you are just gonna get walled by every water type.
Well, then you U-turn out
Yeah, sure, you can U-turn out, yeah, but like,
to your Olomo and then pivot again.
I mean, it's like, yeah, you can spam U-turn, but
And that's
that's
stab
strong.
U-turn.
really strong. And yeah, stab U-turn's decent. Yeah,
That's
it's good,
25%. That's
like, do a bit more
insane.
damage. What? 25? No, it's 50. What? It's 50%.
To what?
What? What? 25% to what?
To like most mons, stab U-turn is just
Oh.
really strong.
That's what you mean, right? I mean, yeah, and with Bandit does a lot, but like fast U-turns alright. I just think it's not as strong as setting up terrain. There's a lot of.
But what is the terrain even being
there's
used for?
really good U-turn.
I like this is a better U-turner.
It all depends on what you value in team building, really. Like,
Well, because this
there's ton-
U-turn is stab, it's 116 attack. Like you're hitting way harder than Rillaboom. Yes, Rillaboom has a higher attack stat, but like most of the time you're gonna have the stab.
the thing is, as well, is like another thing to consider is there's nothing that does Rillaboom's job, whereas there's a lot of things that can do Cinderace's job. If that makes sense. So
Not
like Cinderace is a fast fire type that does a lot of damage, has good coverage, has like a pivot move. Court change is unique to it, yes. But other than that, like it's not like a lot of fire.
honestly,
types,
like
there's
that's
a lot of
all
fast
I needed to
fire
hear.
types.
Like that's all I need to hear. Court change is unique to it. Court
Mhm.
change is one of the best status moves in the game.
I mean, court change is good.
Court
It's
change
good.
is amazing. Court change is so good of a move that it's being used a lot on a frail Pokemon.
I think but yeah, it's obviously really good. I just don't think. I think that's the problem. It's a frail Pokemon. Like if it
Well,
was on,
yes,
like, a
but it doesn't
defensive one, I
matter
could
because
see
it's
it.
court change. Like court
But
change is
court
better
change
than
is good.
court change is better than every move on Rillaboom.
The issue is if you're sitting there and court changing, because it's so frail, it does put it at a risk.
And that's
Um,
fine. Listen, let's say the
You know what
opponent
I mean?
that's the opponent has rocks on you. They have dual screens up. Right? You click court change,
yeah.
Cinderace dies that same turn. Who cares? You have rocks and dual screens on your side now. That is worth it.
Sure. I mean, that's a very perfect scenario for
That
it.
happens a lot.
Yeah, that does a lot, but that's a very perfect scenario for it, right? It's a lot more. Like the examples you've given are like a very high best case scenarios, right? Like, oh, they've got like 6 toxic spikes, 3 spikes.
Okay, well, I'm not saying all
stealth
that.
rocks.
I'm not saying
But-
all
but,
that.
Like, or like
It
they've
does,
got dual, or
and
like
you know
they've
what
got
else?
Aurora
You
Veil
know what
and
else?
they've got
It
rocks and it's like,
scares people too. So they see the Cinderace and they're not going to be able to click their hazards because they know you could just court change it to them, which is valuable. They're not going to be able to click their hazards as often.
It is, yeah, it's valuable. Yeah, it's a good move. It's a really good move. I just don't think it's as versatile or as good as Grassy Terrain. Like Unburden Sweepers are just so broken and they abuse it. mean, you've
I
also got
guess
Pokemon that
I
are
guess
just
Unburden is
tanky.
a fair. Unburden's the first point
Like,
you made that actually makes sense to me.
That's the thing. Like I've not even talked about Unburden, like synergies with it. Unburden Pokemon are going to come in and abuse that. You can nerf down Pokemon that are using Earthquake, like use Earthquake a lot. Like you've got the ability. Obviously, I remember there's Grassy Glide, which you can just clean up games end game. I've done that tons of times. Like Rillaboom just hits hard. It doesn't matter how what type you are. It's hitting you with Wood Hammer and it's doing a lot of damage. And again, going back to my other point, like Cinderace is great, a fantastic Pokemon, definitely broken, but it's not. Other than like Court Change, which is one move, compared to Rillaboom's central ability and its main purpose on a team, it's not like it's not as unique as like Grassy Terrain. Nothing else gets it other than like Tapu Bulu, which nobody uses. So, like, if you want Grassy Terrain, you have to use Rillaboom. Whereas
I do
removing
think
hazards you can do with anything, and you can use a fast fire type.
I do
and
think
it's
Cinderace
just
is
not
the
got that
best.
unique.
I do think Cinderace is the best Libero protein user though by quite a bit.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Yeah, I think it used to be Meowscarada, right? But I think Meowscarada fell off kind of hard.
Like
when
the
Cinderace
thing
came
is,
Yeah.
is that like
out. Yeah, Cinderace.
You're-
is really,
and you're
yeah,
right.
I agree with that.
you're right that Rillaboom is the best grassy terrain setter, but I would argue grassy
It's
terrain.
the only grassy terrain set.
It's
More or
true.
less.
Grassy terrain is not as good as Libero, even after nerf. I just don't think it is.
I mean, grassy terrain's really strong.
It
I
is,
don't
but
know.
like getting the stab on first move is so strong. I mean, like, and hell, this is a very specific game, but I've had I remember there's this one game where I 1v1 to Great Tusk with Cinderace, and it was only because of the Libero nerf, actually.
Did you change to like a flying type?
No, I changed. Oh no, I clicked. It was the last mon. They're both the last mons on the field. I clicked U-turn, turned into a bug type, and both of its stabs I resisted. So and because of that, I was able to spam Pyro Ball and win the game because he couldn't hit me. Like, there's a lot of case scenarios where you can think of stuff like that, where you can still. Granted, yes, it's not as strong as Protein used to be. You used to be able to click any move and always change typing. But like, either way, like you still have these scenarios where you're changing your typing, and you're 1v1ing mons like very well. Because I mean, that's no small feat. 1v1ing a freaking Great Tusk with a Cinderace.
The thing is, it's like, yeah, it's just that's a very specific scenario.
Yes, I get it, but
guess-
that's what Libero
yeah.
can do. Other
Like,
Pokemon cannot do that
can-
against competition. If you said Great Tusk versus Cinderace, 9 million times out of 10, Great Tusk is winning that battle. Just the fact that it's possible with Libero is such a big deal.
Well, I mean, you can argue that that's not even that unique of an ability anymore if you factor in Terra, because anything.
Well, yeah, but you can only do Terra once, obviously.
I know.
And you know
that,
what?
obviously,
You could
but
Terra.
what I'm saying
You could
is,
Terra
like, it
after
becomes even less
Liberoing
unique.
still, so it's not really even relevant. So you could still change your
Sure.
typing twice. It's still valuable.
But I do think what's its name? I don't even know how Libero works with Terra. I've never really tried that. But yeah, it's
Oh, I've
definitely
just
the
not.
best.
It's the same.
Best, like protein Libero, whatever Pokemon, 100%. But no, I don't. I think it's very close, but I don't think it comes above grassy terrain at all. You just,
I think
it's like-
Unburden's the only thing that grassy terrain has, though. I feel like.
It's like, well, no, not really.
I mean, like,
Like, you can run it to give your team more longevity. Like,
But
you can
Court
run it with
Change
skill
gives
types as
longevity.
well. That's a little bit of a stretch. I mean, you can still bear in mind, like, Court Change is not your only way to remove hazards. That's one thing you got to take into factor. Like, you're kind of acting as if like Court Change is the only way to get rid of screens and the only way to get rid of hazards, but it's not.
it's the best
can do
way,
it.
though. No, it is the best way, though. You're taking the hazards off of the opposing side and for your own benefit.
Of course, yeah, and obviously you can do that, but
And it's the
But
only
also-
mon that can do that.
you could also just like see a Cinderace on your team and decide I'm not going to set up my hazards and I'm not going to set up my.
That's the point. But that's a good
my
thing, though.
screens.
That's a good thing, though. Like, Court Change is only taking up one of your move slots at that point. You still
It
have
is.
Sucker
It
Punch,
is a good
Pyro Ball,
thing.
U-turn, which is all you need. These moves are all you need. You have priority, you have a strong, spammable move, and you U-turn out against any opposition that's not good. You always win with this kind of move set. You can even run High Jump Kick over Pyro Ball. You can run Gunk Shot. You don't even need to run a Fire-type move. You really don't. I mean, I recommend it because Pyro
Technically,
Ball's
don't.
that good.
Yeah, you technically don't. That's true. But yeah, I mean, it's also like, but the thing is what I'm trying to say is, then you get because assuming that you've got Court Change, you're probably not going to want to bring hazards on the team right now. You've not got hazards either, so you kind of just made it like equal. Whereas with terrain, you throw down the terrain, you have a team that's going to benefit heavily from that terrain because you have like Unburden sweepers and stuff. You get a free setup on Unburden, which is like crazy strong, and then you outspeed and just. Well,
What if?
Unburden
Okay,
just goes
okay.
from
You
there.
made it even. That's kind of my point. Like, when you have a Cinderace,
It's
you
very
can.
even.
But that's my point. With a Cinderace on your team, you can make your team super hyper aggressive, and they could all be weak to rocks if you really want. Because again, the opponent's not going to feel as safe to click rocks or to click any hazards. You can run a team like your entire team can run completely different because of Court Change.
Sure, if you want, I wouldn't recommend it because what happens when Cinderace dies?
Well,
Right,
it's the same. You say the same thing about any defogger.
Well, you could like sure, but more things get defog, right? So you could run multiple on one team. Same with rapid spinners. Like I mean, yeah, there's less distribution of it.
I mean, you can still run multiple
Um,
defoggers. That's not what I'm
yeah.
saying. It's just like,
Yeah,
but you could also still run court change, and court change is a great move.
like yeah, court change is great. I personally don't rate it as much as you clearly do. I don't think it's it's good. It's a great move, in fact, but it's on a Pokemon that's kind of frail. If it was on like a really defensive Pokemon that was like super bulky, then I'd be like, yeah, it's pretty good. But
Perfect world,
just-
Rillaboom with
it's
court
a
change.
little bit, yeah, it's a little bit out of place on Cinderace, don't you think? Like,
Well, it is, but I think just the fact that it's that good of a move makes it worth it.
like
It's not
yeah,
like
it's,
it's
almost
not
if it
like
had to make
it's
it
not like
frail.
triple arrows, which like is an amazing move on just a terrible. Like it's not that bad on Cinderace. Like having court change on a fast mon is still very valuable. Yes, it's
Mhm.
frail,
Yeah,
but
got
it's
frail.
fast. Like
Yeah. Nice, yeah.
like I just said earlier, you could still get your court change, be faster than the opponent, get it out, and then die, and it's still beneficial. Even just trading a death for getting rid of rocks on your side and also putting that's basically 2 turns is my big point here. You don't have to click stealth rocks, and you don't have to defog stealth rocks. That's 2 turns you just saved for 1 turn.
Assuming they assuming they go ahead.
I'm
and set
only
stealth
saying
on-
rocks.
Yeah.
Listen.
Yeah, assuming they set up stealth rocks on you, which is what I've just.
Which is very common, right? Stealth rock is the most common hazard. Let's say they have
Sure.
rocks. Then you
Again,
save
like,
a
because
defog
it's
turn.
not
You
doing-
save a defog turn and like actually using stealth rock turn. That's 2 turns.
I don't know. I think like I mean, sure you save turns technically, but like
It's not
They
even
could
technically. You
also
just do.
what you do, assuming that they like you're assuming that they're just gonna click stealth rock on you. Like I get it's common, but a lot of people are just gonna see Cinderace and be like, okay, I'll just wait until Cinderace is gone. Oh, I'm just not gonna use like I don't have to use rocks here. Like nobody's forced to do anything into that. Like nobody's forced to deal with court change if they don't want to because it's a reactionary play. You're waiting for them to do something.
Now I will say here, I do think that we're very similar. I think we both
It's
have.
very close. Yeah.
I do think that we both have very strong points. I mean, I guess they're tied, whether it's here or
Mhm.
here. I can't
Mhm.
say either way. But yeah, I tried to convince him, but I couldn't.
Unfortunately, not now. I think Rillaboom, especially since I just won a season with it, Rillaboom's just ridiculous.
I want to see. Well, I didn't win on. No, I guess I gave up that season. But I did have Cinderace, and it was so strong.
Yeah, like Rillaboom Sneasel was how I built that team, and it was insane.
Bro,
And,
I
it was
built
really
my
good.
entire team around Cinderace, bro. It was so good. Ugh.
So yeah, it was really broken. That like specific combination. Whenever I brought those 2 guys together, I don't think I dropped a game, unless I think I fucked up 1 match. That was it.
All right, these are basically tied for the image of it.
So yeah, but moving on to a much worse Pokemon, despite being from the same generation, Inteleon. Inteleon's better than Septalva, in my opinion.
It has really good
It's a better
stats.
than, not better than Mega Septalva. Thinking about it, I think it's below. I think it's mid. I think it's just below Septalva because it's got no like setup, but it's really fast, really strong. Like Inteleon's just kind of like niche.
I wish its signature move was better. I think why did
At
they
least
not
you can
make
take advantage
why
of
did they
it.
not make Snipe Shot always crit? They literally made a Pokemon 1 gen later that had a signature move that always crit.
To be fair, one thing about Snipe Shot is you can throw a Scope Lens on this thing, and then it has a 50% chance to get a Sniper boosted crit. So that's something.
Is it only 50?
It's 50%, yeah, with Snipe Shot plus Scope Lens.
Yeah, you're right.
So you
yeah,
can
yeah,
just,
you're right. Because Sniper, I mean, hell, Sniper boost it if you do get the crit. That's insane.
Double damage, pretty strong. So it's got a niche. You can in that dex you can also focus energy, and I think that I don't know if I think there's a cap, right? I don't think there's any. I don't know if there's any reason to focus energy, but if you don't want to run like Scope Lens, you could run focus energy. You've got. See, I'm lucky. I've got a team that's just set to next OU, so I can look at all the national dex stuff on my end.
It's fine. It's fine. I'm sure it gets it.
So
I mean, this is a fine mon. This mon's stats are like very optimal. 125 special attack, 120 speed. Like it's strong. I think the problem is that like I actually don't even think water is that great of like an offensive typing. Like I think water, I don't know. Like I mean it's fine, but like it doesn't have the moves that are like super like nuke worthy. You know what I mean?
Its coverage is kind of okay, but
Like,
yeah,
it
you're
gets-
right. Like
It
it's
gets Ice
okay.
Beam, like even against something like, yes, it has better stats than something like Infernape, but like Infernape has a better move set. Like it has close combat, it has
Mm-hmm.
even Flare Blitz. Like
Yeah, set
you
up.
you want you want these strong nuke moves when you have such a high power stat, but Inteleon
Yeah.
just doesn't get that. Like, what's your best move? Hydro Pump, and you could just miss.
It's
Like,
Hydro Pump. Yeah. Like if it got like Nasty Plot, it'd be really like.
I
pretty
actually
good,
do
but,
think
like,
it's below Sceptile for that one reason.
I agree. It's a lot worse than Mega Sceptile.
Like, but it just doesn't have like. Yes, it has great stats, but the numbers don't mean that much when your move set just isn't that good.
Mm-hmm. True.
I mean, it does have some decent coverage. Like, it has Dark Pulse, it has Ice Beam, it has, I don't freaking know. It gets U-Turn, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I
Yeah,
think it just
it's
doesn't have a
alright.
good stab move.
But,
That's my biggest thing. It doesn't have a good stab move.
yeah, it struggles quite a lot. I think that's a good placement for it, though. I don't think it's that bad. I think it's got decent stats. Meowscarada, I actually think this is above Primarina. I think Meowscarada's really good.
Meowscarada is really good. What's funny about it is that Meowscarada is run a lot of times with Overgrow instead of Protein. I think that's so funny.
That is quite funny because, I mean, to be fair,
Its signature move is
Flower-
so good.
Yeah, Flower Trick. I mean, it also just has tons of different moves it can turn into, like Fairy type and shit as well. Like,
So 70
all the
base
reasons
power.
we just listed that fucking Cinderace was good is why this is good as well. Apart from Court Change, obviously.
Yeah, but Core Change is such a big point though, is the problem.
I really think this thing's strong. Yeah, it's not as strong as Cinderace, obviously, because it didn't get Pyro Ball. Flower Trick's pretty good, obviously, and like it gets like stab knockoff and stuff. I guess it gets stab everything, right?
Flower Trick, no accuracy check, 70 base power. So what? It's like freaking 105 base power or something like that.
Yes, that's correct. We've crit, so it's not bad.
And it always crits. It can go through like
Triple Axle was a
defensive
great
mons.
buff for it. Yeah,
Oh,
Triple
it is
Axle
Triple
brought it
Axle?
up quite a lot.
Wow.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So
it's
its
really
coverage
good.
is actually really, really strong. Probably better than Cinderace's, but it just doesn't get the insane
doesn't have
signature
the
moves,
power.
Hot Change,
Yeah.
and Pyro Ball. So
It doesn't have the power. I mean, Flower Trick's really good.
it is faster
Again,
though.
again, there's a reason why people actually run Overgrow over Protein. It's because Flower Trick is just legitimately that good of a move. It's very
Flower Trick's
spammable.
great, man.
It's very spammable. 105 base. It goes through defense buffs.
Yeah. This thing also gets spikes, I'm pretty sure as well. Which is
Oh,
nice
I think this is
to
another
try.
reason why people run Overgrow, so that way they keep their Sucker Punch stab.
Yes, I believe so. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, like it gets a couple extra things. U-turn, like I guess you can fast trick if you really wanted. I wouldn't do it myself, but
it has some
Good,
niches.
I
I mean,
guess.
just being able to turn to a
Yeah.
Fairy with player is really useful too, and Triple Axle.
Mhm.
It is definitely good. I actually
it's probably better
think
than Primarina.
you're lowballing a little bit. I think it's
Maybe I am.
I think it's
it could be
better than
better.
Gren, actually. As much as I love Gren,
That's true. I can actually agree with that. It
I think
has more
Gren-
speed. It hits harder.
it's
Yeah,
so
I agree.
stupid because Gren was such an insane protein mon, but I mean, after nerf, Gren doesn't have as much going for it.
Mhm.
His stats are worse. He doesn't have as good of a move to spam like Flower Trick.
Yeah. Or knockoff. Yeah.
I actually, it's hard because Zard Y is just so like good.
Personally, I would rather have a Meowscarada than a Zard YRX, but that's me.
I might actually
Mainly-
agree.
Yeah, mainly just because, like, yeah, I mean,
It has Sucker
It's all-
Punch. It has U-turn. It has a really spammable move.
like, it's like we I don't even want to touch on it all too much longer because it's kind of like this. A lot of the reasons we just debated about Cinderace, why that's really strong, and it is. So Meowscarada is just for similar reasons.
Do
It
you
just
think it's
doesn't
better than
quite get as
Superior?
hard of it.
It might be, to
Superior
be fair.
Snowball's pretty hard. That's my only thing.
It does.
But
But you can always-
Superior does rely on Terra as well. So
Yeah.
I could see an argument for Meowscarada being better than Serp if we're not factoring in Terra. I don't really mind. I think both are really strong.
Oh my
types.
god! Here's another. Okay, this is such a big point for Cinderace. It's a very niche thing. I want to bring this up because I just realized one of the reasons why I love Cinderace so much. What is the one thing that makes Cinderace unique as a protein user out of the three of these?
Physical, right? No, that's not it. I don't know.
It's
I would
very
think it's
niche.
Pyro Ball.
It's very niche. It's specifically about being a protein user.
dude, I'm. Oh, he's solar type, right? So you can click Pyro
Exactly.
Ball.
Exactly.
Yeah, I knew about
and
that.
you can't
Yeah.
say because this is I
Yeah,
completely
can.
forgot. This is part of the reason why that great Tusk thing worked. He's like
Because he swapped in on Pyro Ball. Yeah, I mean he swapped to Bug type, right?
exactly. You switch
Yeah.
to Bug type.
Like,
I had
it's
the first
definitely
Pyro Ball. I have the first Pyro Ball. I stay Fire type, and then I can switch typing still. The fact that you could click your spammable move and still switch typing is insane. But if you click Flower Trick on Meowscarada, you will always waste your type change because
this is
it's
true. Yeah,
because it's dual typing.
Drop you.
That is
Exactly,
only
and
that is
Ninja's the
only
same
worse.
problem.
That is only worse. You don't have as much versatility.
Exactly. Yeah, definitely. I agree with that. Yeah, that's definitely why it's a lot better than Meowscarada for that reason. I mean, on top of all the other reasons, obviously, it's fucking Pyro Ball, Court Change, High Jump Kick. It just gets really strong, high power moves.
But yeah, I mean, especially because
I think
that's Cinderace's best move. I do think that's a really good point in its favor.
Like, well, yeah. I mean, it's strong. Yeah, it's definitely worth noting, for sure. Like,
and that's why he's better than Rillaboom. Anyway,
still debatable.
okay, Meowscarada over Serperior though. I mean, it does have it has priority.
I think it is.
It has
I think
priority.
it is. It doesn't rely on terror as much.
It has it has U-turn. Could this thing even be unbroken?
Nah. I don't think so. I don't quite see it.
All right.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Skeledirge.
Skeledirge is very good unaware mon.
I think it's above. I think it's above Incin for singles, man. It's one of the best unaware mons to ever exist.
Yeah,
Really
I agree.
good.
It has slack off. It has actually a lot of niche like sets that it can run.
Torch Song's broken.
I love Blunder Policy Sing.
Yeah, if you want to do that, yeah, you can do Throat Spray Torch Song.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, yeah, Throat Spray.
Like, there's Will-O-Wisp Hex sets I used to run quite a lot when the game first came out. It's got a decent defensive typing. I don't think its defensive typing is quite as good as Incineroar's. I guess it has the plus side of being able to block Rapid Spin, but it has recovery. That's the biggest thing. It has recovery, which just makes
the fact
it
that
so
it has
much
slack off is so insane.
Yeah, it's really good.
I'm wondering if it's. I mean, if we were talking about the best signature moves, is this not the best signature move, like by itself?
It's just better fiery dance. Yeah.
Like, I would. I mean, if this is on a faster mon, Torch Song would definitely be better than Ceaseless Edge. Call me crazy.
I could see it. Yeah, I could see it.
You just nuke an entire team.
The only yeah, I mean, exactly. You just kind of.
It's just that it's slow. Like they put it on the. Game Freak actually did a good job with this mon. I gotta say, they put the most wild signature move on a slow mon. That was smart, because if they put it on a fast mon, it would be way too strong.
Yeah, can you imagine it on like, imagine it on like Megazard Y or some shit.
Could you imagine?
Oh my god.
Or Blaziken, hold on. Speed boost Torch Song.
Genuinely though, it would be
Speed
ridiculous.
boost Torch Song. Bro, anyway, yeah, no, it's a good mon. I actually think the fact, because Permeate doesn't get healing, right? I actually think it might be above all this.
Yeah, I suppose so. I mean, Unaware
really is so
good.
valuable, you know?
Yeah. Its defensive type's not quite as good as the two below it, but it makes up for it with Unaware, I feel.
For anybody who doesn't know, we probably should have been doing a better job explaining the abilities. But yeah,
we know what Unaware does.
Unaware, it makes you immune to frickin' the opponent's stat changes. So if they have a Swords Dance up, then it doesn't take into effect on the current mon if it has Unaware, which is very, very valuable. You stop setup sweeps very, very hard. Yeah, I think, I mean, you know, good wall. Probably not as good as Mega Swamp though, huh?
Nah, I wouldn't say it's better than Mega Swamp.
Mega Swamp's pretty versatile, yeah.
And then Quackwivel. This Pokemon's really fucking scary to fight.
It's scary?
I've used this one in draft.
It's scary, but I'd argue it's the worst of the three Paldea starters.
Hard disagree. I think it's better than Skeledirge, personally.
I think they're debatable. Skeledirge. I think Meowscarada is a lot better, though, I will say.
the issue, the thing about it's obvious what makes Quaquaval so strong.
It has
It's
Moxie
fucking
combined with
Aqua Step.
Aqua Step. Aqua Step
Yeah,
raises
which is
speed.
ridiculous.
Aqua Step 80 base power move, 100 accuracy,
Mhm.
raises speed, and then Moxie gives you an attack boost for every mon
Mhm.
you kill.
But on top of that, like stats like it can also be support. Like it gets like Roost and Rapid Spin. Like it gets Flip Turn, U Turn.
I'm not against.
Close Combat, Triple Axle. Like
I mean,
it's just really strong.
I know
It's
we're
just
not
a strong
taking
Pokemon.
the
Like they are both in the same tier if that's where you're going with that. But
they are in the same
Yeah, like-
tier.
and it's like 120 special, like 120 attack. Like you can you could just do so much. I've used this Pokemon before. I'm telling you, it's stupidly strong. Like you could do all sorts. You could do like a banded set, and if their team doesn't have a switch in for Aqua Step, you just spam it and win. Or like if
I
you want, you could just
do-
throw up a Sword Stance and then just start killing things. Or you could do like a bulk up Roost set and just
It is
start killing
scary.
things.
It's definitely scary.
super
I just
scary.
think like it doesn't do. It's not as. I mean, yes, you could spam Aqua Step, raise speed, and it's. I feel like it's only super strong in a vacuum. Like it sounds like it's really really insane, but there's actually more walls to it than you might think. Like, I mean,
Well, this is the thing though, right? It's like you've got to think about what its actual role is on a team, and it
Mhm.
excels as a late game cleaner. That's its job, right?
right.
And if you can get it in a position where you can start cleaning up kills, there's going to be very few things that can stop you from.
And that's
doing it.
definitely true. Would I value this over the best? Because you could argue this is not even close to the best Moxie sweeper. Like,
What's a better Moxie sweeper than this?
God, I don't know. Freaking Mega Pinsir.
Yeah, this is definitely the best Moxie sweeper. Aqua Step just bumps it up to that different.
I mean,
level,
Aqua Step is really good, but its speed stat's not that good. Like, you still have to get it off, and it's not like it's that bulky.
It's bulkier than you think. I've ran it as defensive and special defensive walls before. Let's put it that way.
I mean,
and plus it's not like its health is like isn't like it can roost as well. Like if you wanted to run roost on a set, then you can do that too. Like it's honestly like very strong.
I mean, it is
like-
strong.
It gets Moxie like if you you can boost your speed while attacking and then also boost your attack by killing things.
Like
It's just
that's what I'm
such a
saying. Like when
ridiculous synergy.
what I have to say is when I was first playing Scarlet and Violet, and I found out what this thing's signature move combined with its hidden ability was, I actually thought my chat, because I was streaming it, I actually thought my chat was capping, like they were like lying to me about that combo, because
Yeah.
again, it sounds ridiculous, Moxie Aqua Step, but I mean hell, even looking at the tiers, like it's not even that good. I mean it's UU's fine, but like
You use very good by these days standards.
well yeah, but
Power
like.
creep is
But like
crazy.
hell, like look at Meowscarada and we're putting it in the same tier as that. I mean, granted, it's gonna be above no matter what, but
Well, no, it's not going to be. Well, yeah, it's going to be above it. I mean, if that, I mean, by that logic, Incineroar's in RU when we're putting it in the same tier as Meowscarada.
no, you're right. I'm not
So
really.
it's
I'm not really.
it's
I'm not really.
about the tier.
You're right. I'm not taking
Yeah.
the tiers into account at all. I'm just saying like to show like I think Quaquaval like it sounds better than it actually is. Is my main point.
I promise you, I used it for a full season last season in draft. And I know it's
I've never been
And
destroyed by a
it's
Quaquaval.
ridiculously strong.
I have yet
Quick-
to be killed by a Quaquaval. is
All
the
I'm
thing.
maybe they haven't been using it right. That's all I'm gonna say. Because I was doing a lot with Quaquaval. You can even do stuff like you could just have it as like a casual like defensive Quaquaval, and then just get a couple rapid spins off when you're removing.
This thing
Get
gets
a rapid spin off. Yeah, it gets rapid spin. It gets
That's all I
like
need to
utility
hear.
moves and shit.
That's all
It
I
gets
need to hear.
knockoff
It gets
now.
rapid spin.
Like it's one of the few rapid spinners in the entire game, and then you can use that to sweep off of it when you start attacking. Like
You should have
it-
been said
it's-
it got rapid spin, bro.
I did. I said it earlier. I said it gets roost and rapid spin.
Is
so-
it right here, or do you think it's better than Swamp?
I don't think it's hard because Mega Swamp. I think it's actually potentially better than Mega Swamp because it's more of a. That's a tough one, that because Mega Swamp has a better type, but Quaquaval's a better offensive type.
Mega Swamp has Groudon Earthquakes.
I know, which is why I mean Swift Swim is obviously really strong too. I think where it is right now is fine.
I actually do think, even though
it is very strong.
even though these two are very different roles, I actually think they are very similar in terms of viability. Like, I think that they're both
Well,
very,
Renaissance
very...
here as well.
Yeah.
But like these two, there's only two Pokemon in this entire. No, sorry, there's 3 Pokemon on this entire list that I have ever used in draft, and I've won all 3. Well, I've only ever played 3 seasons of draft, and I managed to win with 3 of the start Pokemon, and that was Samurott, Quaquaval, and Rillaboom. So I will preach them all day. They all did fantastic. If they were shit, I'd tell you. If they were absolutely shit and did nothing for me, I would tell you. Like Iron Treads, I used it for like half a season. Iron Treads sucked, but like it doesn't. It was really good. Like there's nothing else to it. I in like on paper and in practice, Quaquaval is just solid. There's nothing else. Yeah, nothing else really to say about him.
Very, very good. All right. So who's the? That's why he's the goat. I just hate the fact that Blastoise is at the top, bro.
Probably still Blastoise, dude. I don't know. Maybe you can make an argument for Mega Blaziken. That thing's really strong.
Okay.
Mega Blaziken is really strong. But
the thing is,
I feel like Mega Blastoise, you just can't beat it if it has a shell smash.
Bro, Mega Blastoise is so stupid. I hate Mega Blastoise, bro.
It's abandoned like everything.
Alright, Mega Blaziken or Mega Blastoise. So, Mega Blaziken, speed boost, 160 attack, 100 speed, but obviously that's going to get speed boosted. Very easy to just click protect first turn if you want to get the guaranteed freaking, speed boosts. That way you're outspeeding, like, most Scarfers as well. Like, I mean, it is pretty insane.
Mega Blade has, like, the setup it can kind of do as well. It's not as bulky, unfortunately, which is the trade-off.
Right.
It's not got bad bulk though.
It can eat like one hit.
Like a hit, yeah. It can live like a hit. I'm honestly fine with either. I think both are incredibly strong Pokemon. Like Mega Blaze is probably easier to get off the ground, and start killing shit than Blastoise. Is what I'll say. Blastoise is definitely more very, very threatening if you do get it set up, and it only takes a turn.
Okay, but I would argue Mega Blastoise gets hard-walled by Unaware more than Mega Blaziken.
I'm gonna say they both do pretty hard.
You don't need setup on Mega Blaziken. This is 160 attack.
It is, and it sounds really really nice. But a lot like the thing is, it all depends on which Unaware Pokemon it's against, right? That's what it's all relative. Like, yeah, you could technically just like shut them down by like Prankster Encoring or Prankster
I think
or just use like Don
Dondozo or Clefable. Like, okay, Clefable could probably shut down Blastoise, right?
I mean, he might have enough raw power. With I think he gets Flash Cannon, which is boosted by
Mega Launcher.
Is it sponsored by Mega Launcher? I can't remember if it is.
It probably is. Well, actually, it might not.
I mean, either way, I think it would break Clefable with that. I think.
I wonder how much Flare Blast does with Clefable.
A lot. I tell you now, it does a lot. Assuming that it's like Fizz Def, it'll probably still be like a 2-hit, right?
Yeah. Man, I don't want to put Blastoise as the go.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't even really love Mega Blastoise that much. It's just strong objectively.
It does just get a Shell Smash up for free.
It's just bulky as hell. You just like start killing things straight away.
And it has enough speed. Like, this is not a bad speed stat. 78 speed for Sweet.
No.
Oh,
it just kills a lot of stuff, and it's.
This I will say,
like 120 power Dark Pulse and shit. Like,
I will say, by the way, like, this is going kind of off screen here, but like, bro, this video is so ass. Like, because I am not showing the freaking stats on the recording this whole time.
So you couldn't even see what I saw.
Like, I mean, you could see like some stuff. We're gonna have to fix that if we do another another competitive list.
It's fine. We've been reading them out more or less.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. That's one of those things where it's like I noticed way too late.
It's alright.
it's fine. We more or less got the point across. There you go. So that's a definitive list. Any other opinion is wrong.
Maybe
so-
that's why he's the GOAT for Mega Blaziken 2.
Sure, they could both be in there. They're both ridiculous. I think they are just a cut above the other three, honestly, as well. Like,
I do. I think they
definitely.
could sweep very, very easily.
Mhm.
Yeah,
They're very strong.
that's fair. And you think
I love my
Ceaseless
Gen 8
Edge is...
start. I
you
love
think
my
s-
Gen 8 starters.
You think Ceaseless
Bro.
Edge is better than these two?
Yeah, it's more just like it's very just like I mean they all have really spammable moves and really honestly any one of those three Pokemon could interchange either way, you know.
Mhm.
Like honestly, some days I might wake up and be like, oh yeah, Rillaboom's better than Samurott, and some days I might wake up and think maybe Cinderace is better than the other two, and it all just interchange, I think. But
Mhm.
today I think that's roughly it. I mean, I think Rillaboom's above Cinderace, but obviously it's
I
kind of
think
interchangeable.
After looking at it, you think Infernape's in mid.
I don't think he's as bad as these other shitters in the middle though. I
You're
don't know.
right. You're so right.
I think he's really cutting it close, but I think he is still really good. So.
Yeah, he still has the moves, man. That's the biggest thing. You gotta have the moves. That's
the moves, his abilities.
This is the
isn't bad either.
Inteleon theorem, bro. You don't have the strength, then you don't got it, man.
Right. So there you go. That's the list.
That's the list. If you disagree, you're wrong, and you suck.
True.
Um,
True.
but you could
This is the
you could comment your own thoughts below.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Try and give reasons in the comments as to why Mega Blastoise isn't as good as we think it is. There you go. That'll be a fun one.
Yeah, that'll be a good one. Like, why is Mega Blastoise not absolutely insane with Shell Smash?
Also, this is like a really long recording, so if you guys have watched this long, thank you.
Yeah,
Like-
thanks for watching. Let us know if you want to see more. We kind of fumbled around a little bit trying to get our pace at the beginning, I feel like, but I think we did
It's
better.
very off script. This is not. Yeah, this is very just casual
Yeah.
chatting back and forth.
Yeah, I
and
know.
They throw it on as like a podcast or some shit.
Yeah, that's generally how my tier list videos were for Isaac as well, me and Turt. It's the same type of thing. Let me know if you want us to do more. Let us know, because we play Pokemon in a lot of different ways. We do not need to do competitive. So let us know if there's anything Pokemon related that you would like me and Rentoid to do again. I actually think maybe draft is a little bit too niche, maybe. So maybe going off of other topics would be nice, a nice change of pace, because I think it'd be hard to keep track of, because a lot of people don't play draft, right? Like we do.
This is very true.
Yeah.
Unless you watch like Pokemon, and then
Yeah.
you probably know draft.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah.
Either
yeah,
way, let
I
us know
mean,
what you'd like
yeah.
to see. We play a lot of Pokemon. We've played all the games. We could do anything like that. So, but thanks for watching, and yeah, later, Manners.
See ya.